this market, you're either a follower or a leader. While followers settle for the average, Cumulus Digital gives leaders the edge, beating industry averages by 25%. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out the form, and take the lead.
KCUV Tucson, a Cumulus Media station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
We now have two teams in the semifinals of the World Cup.
Made a great run into the center. Here's Kubasi. Can hit one, Kubasi! Oh, he's fielded the keeper, and they've scored! It's Mikel Merino, can you believe it? Off the bench to score again! And our Spain heading to the semi-final.
Spain knocks out Belgium, the team that knocked out the United States. So the first semifinal is set. It is going to be France and Spain. Isn't it interesting? I was kind of thinking about football today and how this is all kind of beginning to line up. We've got France playing Spain. You've got England still in the mix. It's kind of interesting that the best soccer teams in the world correlate with the most spoken languages, perhaps, in the world. You've got England, English. You've got France, French, which most of us took a whole lot of French growing up in my era that we didn't realize we were never going to ever use. And then you have Spain, Spanish, which, you know, I keep telling people, I was like, if you are going to take a second language, take Spanish classes growing up, because you absolutely are going to need that language more so than any other language outside of English in this country. The only team that kind of has fallen out of this mindset would be Germany, losing out early in the knockout stage, because German is generally considered the other, at least when in my generation, again, kids took German. I don't even know if kids take German in schools today. Do they? Do you know whether they do? You come from a family of educators. Do they still teach German in United States
Last
schools
time I was in school was in the 90s, so I couldn't speak on modern times, DK, but I think it really is parallels to business around the world, and all those, languages you're speaking of are generally business related. Spanish is one that you can get around a lot of different countries. Also some correlations to the Romance languages, DK, which we all know are all the 5 languages that came from Latin. If you look at that map, though, to me, it's just a map of English football influence. Look how close the countries, other than Argentina, look at the countries on a map that are in the semis and quarters, and their relationship to Great Britain, because that's obviously the birthplace of soccer, and all those countries nearby. I know French and Spanish people have had some issues traditionally over the years. I also know, DK, that Norway and England, if you ever heard of the Vikings about 1,200 years ago, there was quite a lot of invasions between those two countries.
So that's kind of, so you're saying that tomorrow's match at 2, that's kind of a bit of a rivalry.
I mean, if you're 1,200 years old and you hold a grudge, there's probably some bad blood there, but I think they're all good now.
I wonder who the people in Minnesota, are they rooting for Norway? There's a lot of folks with Norwegian background that navigated to the great North Midwest.
I'll tell you this much. I think most people either root as hard as they can for Great Britain, or root against Great Britain among as the most hated country that they might root against. A lot of colonialism type stuff like that. But as far as it comes to sports, it's kind of the same thing. I mean, we love our cousins over there in England, and they take soccer as seriously as anybody in the world, and it's been so long since they've won. So obviously a lot of pride there. But my question to you, DK, is we just talked about the game today and how Spain moves on. Do you root for the team that knocks your team out? Like, were we rooting for Michigan because in the Final Four?
I wasn't rooting for Belgium just because I don't think there were any players on Belgium that I really know that well.
I just mean a justification of the loss of the team you're rooting for.
Right,
Like, Cavs go out, the team that beat the Cavs, you kind of maybe want the Knicks to go on and win the title because there's a little, justification of that loss type of thing.
I've never really done that. I've never really kind of voted for the team or rooted for the team that knocks my team out. I usually will, unless, of course, there's a connection. I'm really more about connections to teams in terms of that kind of thing. I obviously have no connection to any of these teams that are left. But like I said the other day, I think I would root. The thing that kind of and when I think about big time international soccer, I just go, and I mentioned it I think earlier this week. I go back to that one. I don't know exactly what the tournament was, where England lost. I think it was to Italy, and the young kid missed the penalty kick at the end.
Right.
And so I just remember the heartbreak. I remember Prince William and his family were there, and they all the British were just so shocked, and it was like heartbreaking to watch that match and watch them lose that game. And I just feel like maybe they deserve something this time around. They deserve a little a payback celebration of their own. So I kind of am maybe rooting a little bit for England. I've kind of I root for Argentina. My former colleague over at KVOA News for Tucson, Angelique Lizardi, was a huge Argentina fan. She used to always talk about Argentina and Messi. So I kind of, whenever there would be a big soccer game and Argentina was playing, she would always pop into the sports room and start yelling about Messi. And so I kind of have become a Messi fan because of my longtime friend over at KVOA, Angelique Lizardi. So, in fact, I texted her early in the tournament when he made a goal in extra time, and she was just like, she texted me back in big, bold letters. So, so I kind of am maybe Argentina, London maybe first, and Argentina maybe second.
Yeah,
is who I'm going for.
I think the best story is probably Norway because it's been 28 years since they were even in the World Cup, and they're not traditionally one of those teams. But with, one of the best young strikers in the game in Erling Haaland, I mean, the way that they're playing together as a unit, that's such a great story. But I will tell you this about watching that match today. I watched quite a lot of it. Just reminded that, Spain plays chess, America plays checkers. The level of passing, if you've never really gotten into soccer and you want to watch one national team, watch Spain. I mean, right now they're known for having one of the best defenses in the world. But DK, watching how seamlessly in those triangles they move the ball around, quick, short passing, maintaining possession, just as easily as you could imagine in the biggest match that both teams had played to date. It's just a really amazing, beautiful game. They make it look so easy with that short passing game that came from about 20 years ago, 30 years ago. It became really in vogue. Nowadays, professional teams aren't necessarily playing that tiki-taka style as much, but Spain is just such a really easy. It's really easy to watch Spain play just because of how easy they make that passing game look.
This was a good one today. Spain got off to the early lead with a tally in the first half.
Tielemans gives them control. Onana's got a huge physical presence.
Porro looking to get the other side of Doku. Dani Olmo, good save. There's the follow-up 1-0. In by Fabian Ruiz, and Spain take the lead. Thibaut Courtois made the initial save to deny Dani Olmo, but nothing he could do about Fabian Ruiz, and the two-time Champions League winner fires Spain ahead.
Oh, what an exceptional cutback from Pedro Paul, Dani Olmo, and then Fabian Ruiz. Super sub starting today with Pedri on the bench. Really good finish. Just great football, great awareness.
Fabian Ruiz in the 30th minute gave Spain a 1-0 lead, but this game would be equalized before the end of the first half.
Castagna with a low ball in. That's away by Fabian Ruiz. De Bruyne, that's a lovely pass by De Bruyne. Finds the gap. Castagna's cross. De Ketelaere! 1-1! The Spain defence finally breached, and Belgium back on terms in Los Angeles.
Well, it's exceptional football from Belgium, no question of offside. Watch this pass from Kevin De Bruyne the first time. This is what makes it. Just here, first time.
What a pass.
Watch the run from De Ketelaere. Gets himself back on side in front of Kubasi. That is class. That is just an exceptional goal.
So I have a really good friend back in Ohio who used to call some indoor soccer. And so he used to watch a lot of outdoor soccer. And he would always marvel. He would always call me marveling at the language that was used by the broadcasters. And you heard some of it in that call right there. We heard exceptional and lovely. You know, the terms that we don't necessarily hear in American.
That was a
play-by-play.
lovely tomahawk dunk by LeBron James.
What was it? Full fabulous flow. The language. That's the other thing that's, I guess, beautiful about, they call soccer the beautiful game. Beautiful about the game of soccer is just the English language, the way that the English language is played into the broadcast that we're hearing throughout this World Cup tournament. How about this Charles de Ketelaere? He scored twice against the United States. Scored a goal again today. We haven't really talked about him. Is he an emerging star? Is this a young man we should be keeping an eye on? Because he had 3 goals in Belgium's last 2 games.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that as far as international status goes, DK, but I do know that goal today was, I mean, it was really the build-up to that goal. But he put himself in perfect position. He got in front of the defender and just leaned in and put his head right in the perfect spot, and obviously picked his perfect spot in the goal to get it past the goalkeeper. Yeah, I mean, there's so many names. I mean, it's who's the best young hitter in baseball? You know, there are many people on that list, and I don't particularly know his background and what he's all about. But I know that obviously the 2 goals versus America was the difference, and that goal today was really, really special. The 2 goals that Spain scored were both on rebounds, DK, putting pressure on the goalie who didn't quite secure either of those first 2 shots, and both those were on rebounds. But that goal that we just heard, the equalizer in the first half, was a really, really pretty build-up, really quick one-timer, and the header was just on point.
And, again, it would be Spain, though, getting the go-ahead goal in the second half and holding on for the win.
Made a great run into the centre. Here's Kubasi. Can hit one, Kubasi! Oh, he's spilled in the keeper, and they've scored! It's Mikel Merino, can you believe it? Off the bench to score again! And our Spain heading to the semi-final. It's Belgian tears, Spanish celebrations, and Mikel Merino is the super sub again.
I mean, he always seems to do it for club and country. You think about Courtois going off Lamens. He's normally so steady in goal. He just drops it straight in front of him. Bounces a bit awkwardly. Can't grab it, and Marino's just quicker. And Ngoy, for once in this game, wasn't the first defender there. He just has a feel, Mikel Merino, for big goals, big moments.
All right, so it'll be France and Spain in the first semifinal. That'll be down at Arlington, Texas, Jerry's World, AT&T Stadium on Tuesday afternoon with kickoff scheduled for noon. The game on Wednesday will also be a noontime start. Both of those games are indoors in domes, Jerry's World and Mercedes-Benz Stadium. I would imagine that was probably by design, that all except for the game at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami down the stretch, games are going to be indoors, and obviously the final will also be an outdoor game, however, at MetLife Stadium in New York. So, and that's an early start too next Sunday. That's going to be a noon start.
Hot.
So, yeah, it might be kind of hot.
I mean, the whole country's hot right now.
Exactly.
Have you seen next week's weather forecast for Tucson, however?
I have not seen it yet.
Yeah, 97, 96, 95, 94, 50% chance, 50% chance, 50% chance. I think Sunday through Saturday of next week, they're predicting.
So we're getting nice low temperature.
50% chance of rain every day. Yeah, next week, they're saying.
Nothing wrong with that.
No.
So there'll be 2 games tomorrow, and those will be the final 2. Norway and England, that game is down at Hard Rock Stadium in Miami. That'll be a 2 o'clock kickoff. And then the final game in the quarterfinal round, Argentina-Switzerland, is at the Arrowhead Stadium in Kansas City, Missouri. That will kick off tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Argentina, obviously the favorite, and England the favorite in their match as well. 520-848-1290. Would love to hear who you're rooting for down the stretch of this World Cup tournament, as we've got a little over a week to go before we finalize this whole event.
Did you watch any of that today?
I didn't really watch any of it.
So
no.
I didn't hear any commentary from the players. But I will say that especially in that second half, DK, every 2 minutes I saw a player falling down on the grass at SoFi Stadium. Like every single player. Because the pitch is such a huge part of what they do, and it's very integral to playing world-class soccer. You'll hear a lot of tournaments where they talk about whether or not the grass hasn't been put together in the right timeline. But I don't know if there was any issues at all. But looking up at the TV and watching, especially from 1-1 in those last 20 minutes of the game, it seemed like players were slipping all over that field.
NBA Summer League is happening. We're going to talk some NBA basketball today. Jim Owczarski, he's the beat writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. He's going to join us in the 4 o'clock hour, and we'll get an update on what the folks in Milwaukee think of Braden Burries as he begins his NBA career. And Summer League in Vegas got started today. Burries is on the court now. In fact, that game just about to be finishing up in Las Vegas. Diamondbacks will be in Los Angeles to take on the best team in baseball, Los Angeles Dodgers, this weekend, coming off a split in San Diego. We'll have your Diamondbacks download for you. Told you the Mercury just don't play well at home. I thought maybe last night would be the difference, maybe the beginning of something of a turnaround in that respect, but unfortunately it was not. Indiana got the win despite not having Caitlin Clark. We'll review that game, as well as give you a little bit more from the Big 12 football media days this past week from some of the head coaches in the conference. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290. Love to hear from you on any number of those topics, especially who you are rooting for down the stretch of the tournament, the World Cup soccer tournament. Cricket is here. She'll be here throughout the show as well. What's Up Weekend? We'll check in and see how Cricket did on her picket from last night. And also, of course, she'll have a quote for you coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Right now, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5. She's got your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. Crash at Orange Grove and I-10. On Orange Grove at I-10. Biggest slowdowns westbound Orange Grove approaching I-10. Avra Valley Road at I-10. That was a reported brush fire. Avra Valley Road at I-10, a reported brush fire. And I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's. It's MyLowe's Money Days through July 12. Members instantly get extra MyLowe's money on a purchase of $200 or more. MyLowe's Money Awards varies based on status. Members in gold get 30, silver get 20, and bronze get 10. MyLowe's Money valid for 30 days. Restrictions and more terms at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Money Days.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Drats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at tobaccobarntucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check tobaccobarntucson.com.
MyLowe's Money Days are here, and we're making it rain for rewards members. For the first time ever, when you make a purchase of $200 or more through July 12th, you'll get up to $30 back in extra MyLowe's money. Not a member yet? Join for free today, because members get more at Lowe's. MyLowe's Money Award varies based on status. Members in gold get 30, silver get 20, and bronze get 10. MyLowe's Money valid for 30 days. Restrictions and more terms at Lowe's.com/MyLowe's Money Days.
The
world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Norway was trading at 2.5% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $3,740 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it's legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prizes, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose. And millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Arizona is where we live and work. Unlike many other law firms, Arizona is our home. They call us the Eagle because with every 5-star review, our reputation soars, and we've got thousands. You also won't see our lawyers on billboards because they're busy representing Arizona clients. We're Goldberg & Osborne, Arizona's leading injury law firm. Call today at 1-800-THE-EAGLE.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Phoenix Mercury had the game in their grasp last night, and then they didn't.
Mitchell driving right towards the elbow. Now gets to the left side. Scoop shot, good off glass for the lead. 90-89. No timeouts for Phoenix. Fever up 92-89. Copper races down the floor. Heaves a three. Too strong. And the Fever win it on the road. 92-89 the final.
That's how it sounded on the Indiana Fever radio network last night. The Mercury blowing a late lead, losing at home again. They played 11 games at home this season, and they have now lost 8 of them. 8 home losses. That's not going to help you dig yourself out of what is now once again a 7-game below 500 hole. The last 3 minutes, not friendly. Let's hear the entire last 3 minutes of that game.
Mitchell back to Harris. Oh, stone cold. 3 seconds to shoot. Powers got the big answer from distance. Mitchell back to Harris. Takes a peek inside. Boston looking for position against Thomas. Boston finds it and finishes it. Backdoor cut. Thomas to cover beautifully. Harris surveying her options. Boston is pressing up against Thomas. Harris takes it the other side. From mid-range. Oh! Mitchell comes out to get it. Shot clock still in play. Feeding Boston right away against Thomas. Leans in, turns the other way. Tucker wrapped up. Thomas found it. Makes good on it. With the Fever trailing by 1, it's Mitchell's opportunity. Mitchell driving one-handed finish. See if the Fever foul. It's in Copper's hands. She takes a peek. Copper for the tie, not there. And the Fever win tonight and win the series 2-1.
92-89, the final. Kelsey Mitchell with the big basket at the end. That was the one that gave the Fever the lead.
That
29 points.
Smooth.
Yeah.
That was about as smooth as it gets.
She's got some handle, that's for sure. She made 3 of 6 from 3, 6 of 6 from the line, 29 points, 8 assists, 3 blocked shots for the diminutive guard for the Indiana Fever, who played without Caitlin Clark, resting after coming back from injury and having played the night before in a loss in Los Angeles to the Sparks. Sophie Cunningham, the very talkative Sophie Cunningham, 29 minutes. She had 9 points on 2 of 7, 1 of 5 from 3, 2 assists, a turnover, and a steal. As the Fever take the third game of that series. 2 of those games were played a few weeks ago in Indiana, in which the 2 teams split that pair.
You know, a fast-growing industry in the world, DK, is trolling. And, you know, it's been around for about 25 years, ever since the internet really got serious. But Sophie Cunningham in these last, 48-plus hours has really embraced the role of being the designated troll. And she's talked quite a bit about it. So clearly that's something, and it's easy to do that when you've got the glow of the Caitlin Clark fan base supporting you.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if you heard some of the noises coming from up there in Phoenix last night, but either the Indiana Fever traveled 2,000 plus miles across the country to support the Fever in Phoenix, or there's a whole lot of Caitlin Clark fans that got tickets last night.
There was a sellout last night at the Mortgage Markup Metroplex in downtown Phoenix, and you can best believe that a lot of those folks. Caitlin obviously didn't play. She was with the team. She signed a lot of autographs for the 17,000 plus people that were there. And then after the game, it was quite the happy locker room on the Indiana side.
Really, I'm so proud. This was a gut check time for us. Okay, we know how quickly 10-point leads can come and go in our league. Okay, we stayed the course. We didn't get too high. We didn't get too low. We made big plays. Time.
Is that a regular season game or an important postseason game that they won last night?
I know. He makes it sound like they just won the WNBA championship.
Very excited about that win.
Yeah, 13-9. How about this stat? 13-9 on the season. They are 9-9 in games with Caitlin Clark. They are 4-0 now in games without Caitlin Clark. How about that?
Yeah, Aaliyah Boston's really like the cornerstone of that team, and they were drafted in the same year. If I remember, no, Aaliyah Boston I think was the year right before Caitlin Clark. So they're both semi-new to the WNBA, but that's a good team when they're healthy. The problem was Caitlin Clark missed basically the whole season, right, last year, and they had other injuries in addition to that. We all remember Ari McDonald going over there to help out. She also got injured. So it's really been the injury bug that's hit the Indiana Fever, but they have a nice roster beyond Caitlin Clark when they have a general amount of health in that locker room.
Yeah, Aries still has not played this season. She was picked up in that expansion draft by the Toronto Tempo, one of the new teams in the league this year, but she's still dealing not only with the foot injury that plagued her last year, but then she got an ankle injury playing in the Unrivaled League in the off season. So she is still trying to work her way back from numerous lower extremity injuries and has not played at all in the campaign this season. 92-89 on the side for the Mercury last night. They were led by 22-point performances by Alyssa Thomas and Clea Copper. Those two combined to go 19 of 35 from the floor, 14 off the bench for Monica Koamakani. Let's hear after the game from Ka and reserve Marta Suarez, who also scored 10 points off the bench.
We spoke with you a little bit earlier just about your confidence, how you've grown in your game, and you respond just a few hours later with your career best game in terms of scoring. It feels like you can see the confidence with how you're moving. The last points you got came from a Kalia drive. You knocked down the 3 there. What does it just mean to you amidst the contract situation stuff we heard earlier to respond with a performance like tonight, even though it did not result in a win?
Well, I think my answer is the same one I gave you earlier. I love basketball. I'm playing the long game, so at the end of the day, it's just about everyday work and just doing what I can and wherever I can step in this season and help this team. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I think I pride my versatility on. So other than that, there's no pressure. I don't feel no pressure, so that's where I'm able to go out there and try to do what I like to do.
Ka, Nate spoke with us a little bit earlier, and he said we're playing for our playoff lives here to finish the season. I know this is not something that you guys necessarily think about, but have you thought about that, considering where we are in the season right now?
Of course I have. Yeah, I've thought about it. Not getting too deep, trying to dig our way out.
Hey, Kalia, just how great was it to see Sammy back, especially, you all always have a front row seat to see all the hard work she puts in.
It was great. I've been in Sammy's position, so from the rehab to the tough days to being able to just finally get back out there. So I'm super excited for Sammy. It's been a long time coming, long rehab. Yeah, I'm excited.
Ka, when you look at the turnovers, Nate was talking about just how some of those were just silly turnovers in the fourth quarter. How do you clean that up as a team?
I think you just slow down. I think sometimes we were just going too fast. Just really understanding the time and the score, what we want to be able to do. So I think just slowing down.
We're going to wrap there. Thanks, guys.
All right, that was the Mercury players' quick post-game press conference afterward. They only had 11 turnovers in the game, but a lot of those came down the stretch. Monica Makoa-Makani had 4 of the 11 for the Mercury, who again now are 8-15. They are 3-8 at home, and time's running out. There's still a large part of the season to go, but you got to start to win games. So they are currently 3.5 games out of the last playoff spot. Washington right now at 10-10 holds the 8th seed in the WNBA playoff picture. So, but there's a bunch of teams ahead of them that they're going to have to climb over: Los Angeles, Toronto, Portland, and Phoenix. Not to mention the Sky, who came in here struggling and beat the Mercury earlier this week. So a couple losses at home. Really disappointing because it seemed like the club was starting to turn it around. 520-848-1290.
And how do you eat an elephant, right? I mean, they've been trying to do that for 2 months.
One bite at a time.
One bite at a time, yeah. They've been doing that for 2 months now. And when Kaz asked that kind of question, DK, like big picture, you guys have been out of the playoff race for such a long time, trying to get back into it. How's this loss feel? It's just the same thing. That last bite didn't work quite as they had hoped, DK. So there's really nothing you can do other than try to stay as healthy as possible. I mean, they obviously have some really good players. A few bad decisions down the stretch of games. There was a couple of bad turnovers there at the end of that fourth. And then the defense. You keep one player in front of you during one play, DK, and maybe the Mercury come out with that win. So it's not as if you're losing games by 40 points and that there's no hope. It's just a matter of cleaning a few things up. And you can only do that by, focusing on your preparation and staying in the game and not getting too down as a unit and make, like you said, 3.5 games is not insurmountable.
Back-to-back road games coming up. Las Vegas on Saturday. That'll be tomorrow at 3 o'clock. And then they got to go up to Minnesota and play on Monday. So it does not get much easier for the ladies as they head out on to the road. Let's hear a little bit of Nate Tibbetts, what he had to say after the ball game before we head to our break.
Take me through the last play where Kalia Copper was called for a foul. I'm just curious to know what has actually happened.
Well, it was side out, 10 seconds to go. Kind of ran a keep / dribble handoff. Got AT down to the paint and thought we got a pretty good look. And then Kai crashed, what we talked about, and they called an offensive foul, push.
And another question as well, basically, what have you seen from Marta Suarez from developmental player to a full-time roster spot throughout the season so far?
Yeah, I mean, Marta's an extremely hard worker. Basketball is extremely important to her. She's a worker. You know, she's not afraid of anything. She's not afraid of competing. Yeah, and I thought she came in and had a really good game for us today.
Coach, obviously, you know, not the way you guys want the game to end, but with you guys playing on Saturday, how kind of important is it just to have that short turnaround where you're still able to kind of digest, you know, things that went wrong, but sort of be able to move forward pretty quickly?
Yeah, we're in a, you know, I think 4 games in 8 days stretch, so they're all coming quick. You know, I was proud of the way we played tonight. That's kind of, to me, how we've been playing, except last game. Yeah, and, you know, these are the games that you got to get, and we didn't get it done tonight. We had some turnovers in the fourth and didn't get stops, and then obviously we didn't score on that last possession, but it was a hell of a game.
All right, that was Nate Tibbetts talking a little bit about Marta Suarez right there. She's another one of those older rookies, player from Spain. That's come over to the United States. She had an opportunity to play to either play with the Golden State Valkyries or with Phoenix. She chose Phoenix, and a career high last night, 10 points. So hopefully she's somebody that can maybe put a charge into this Mercury squad as they begin to turn their attention to the second half of the season. 23 games into the year and sitting in 7th place in the West.
Still trying to hopefully another player from Spain will suit up for the Mercury at some point.
You never know. You never know. Maybe Helena Puello might just do that.
I mean,
Arizona alum.
Didn't we hear rumors that she did sign like before she got injured? But I don't see her on any Mercury rosters that I've seen.
No, she has not actually come over here yet. I think that's, you know, they have her rights. But I don't think she's actually decided to make that move. 520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. DK on the Sports Tip. Want to hear from you today. We'll talk some NBA Summer League basketball coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll get your Braden Burries update as he's starting out his career. Milwaukee is in Las Vegas for the Las Vegas Summer League. Always a fun event. We'll check in with one of the Bucks beat writers to get the early report on young Brady.
Apparently there's some former player on former player crime going on in Vegas right now.
Oh, boy.
Yeah, Bam Adebayo, your favorite guy, apparently put his hands on Tyler Hero today in Vegas because Tyler had some not quite choice things to say that were leaked in a private DM from a couple weeks ago about Bam Adebayo.
But these guys weren't playing. This was off the court.
No. Apparently this was completely unrelated. Bam's not playing. Bam hasn't played Summer League in 9 years, and I think Hero like 5 years.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, no, those are veteran, borderline all-star guys. I mean, MVP candidates in Bam's case. But that came out a couple hours ago that apparently there are some extracurriculars between former teammates.
Bucks lost their game in Vegas today, 119-86. We'll tell you what Braden did when we come back. Cricket is getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather Together. Collision center reported McGee and Shannon and McGee. Collision occurred Camino de Oeste and McGee and Camino de Oeste. Also collision Irvington and Park Avenue and backups eastbound Irvington at Park Avenue. And for your weather, looking at about 81 is the low, 101 tomorrow, 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio. 1290 Traffic and Weather Together.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America, sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, dedicated to offering solutions to help businesses meet their goals locally and globally. More at bankofamerica.com/gamechangers. That's bankofamerica.com/gamechangers.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Bet365. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Last night in Las Vegas, the Washington Wizards and the Utah Jazz featured the top 2 picks from this year's NBA draft. A.J. Debonsa was outstanding, 27 points, 7 rebounds. Darren Peterson had an up-and-down night, finishing with 24 points, but also having 8 turnovers. It's just one game in the Summer League, but A.J. Debonsa is living up to the billing of the number 1 pick of the NBA draft. I'm Chris Black.
If Twisted Tea was your best friend, they'd start a dance party in the supermarket that turns into a pool party at your place, and you don't even own a pool. Twisted Tea is smooth, refreshing, and always fun. Twisted Tea Hard Iced Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
This is the story of the one who keeps multiple buildings running smoothly day after day. Plumbing that flows, HVAC that hums, cleaning supplies that keep surfaces sparkling. That's why she counts on Grainger. With easy reordering online and 24/7 support, Grainger helps her keep the products she needs on hand. So shelves stay stocked and buildings stay ready. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
In a world parched for excitement, Twisted Tea's your refreshing thrill ride of flavor. The hard iced tea that's smooth, made with real brewed tea and 5% alcohol. Twisted Tea. Keep it twisted.
Twisted Tea Brewing Company, Cincinnati, Ohio. Please drink responsibly.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs. So why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Pricing coverage match limited by state law.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP. An Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. America's Big 250 starts this month. Did you know Tucson's first Presidio is 250 plus? If you're not careful, you can still experience those original dirt roads crossing town in the bottom of wagon wheel busts and suspension slaying potholes. It's why Arizona drivers count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care to protect their tires and suspension for life with Jack's Plus Pack. Every passenger and light truck tire we install comes with a free alignment check and 12 additional services, including professional installation and lifetime tire maintenance. If you're shopping around, Jack's got you covered with major brands and budget-friendly tire options. Compare Jack's total installed price. Backed by our low price promise, we've got you covered completely through both our seasons, monsoon and road construction. Check out Jack's Plus Pack, a $249 value at jackfurriers.com. So make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by any of our 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, we're here to get you there.
Milo's Money Days are here, and we're making it rain for rewards members. For the first time ever, when you make a purchase of $200 or more through July 12th, you'll get up to $30 back in extra Milo's money. Not a member yet? Join for free today, because members get more at Lowe's. Milo's Money Award varies based on status. Members in Gold get 30, Silver get 20, and Bronze get 10. Milo's Money valid for 30 days. Restrictions and more terms at Lowe's.com/Milo's Money Days.
The world's biggest soccer tournament has arrived, and you can trade the entire tournament on Kalshi. Trade every match from the opening rounds all the way to the final. Last week, Norway was trading at 2.5% to win it all, meaning a $100 trade could pay out $3,740 if they win soccer's biggest prize. Want to know what they're at today? Check Kalshi. For a limited time, download the Kalshi app and use code PITCH to get a $10 credit when you trade $10. That's promo code PITCH. Kalshi. Trade on anything. 18 plus only. Must be present in state where it is legal to trade. Event contract trading involves risk and may not be suitable for all investors. Prizes, values, and available markets may differ from those mentioned. $10 free credit with no expiration. Restrictions and eligibility requirements apply. For more information, see Kalshi.com/regulatory.
There are many reasons you might need Dorado Rockin' Materials. A few bare spots in the yard. The driveway needs filling in. Or it could be that the yard needs a whole makeover. Whatever the reason, if your yard has the summertime blues, Dorado Rockin' Materials has everything from sand to boulders and every rock and pebble in between. If you need help spreading it, we have options for that too. Call 400-4233. Dorado Rock and Materials. The right service, the right product, the right price.
Oh my gosh, Ted, why are you digging up the yard?
I'm looking for that stupid pipe. The bathroom drain is still clogged.
Shouldn't we call Goodfellas AC and Plumbing? You know, the professionals.
I found the pipe.
Whatever clogs your drains, leave it to the professionals at Goodfellas AC and Plumbing. The choice your family can count on for quick, reliable plumbing service using Permaliner to fix pipes and drains without digging up the yard. Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. GoodfellasAC.com. DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290 is the number to get on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. So we were talking, obviously, about the Phoenix Mercury, who lost last night to the Indiana Fever. And we mentioned yesterday with the return of Sophie Cunningham to Phoenix, where she played her first 6 seasons in the league, that a letter had been sent by members of Congress to the commissioner of the WNBA, Kathy Engelbert, about what they feel is unfair treatment of Caitlin Clark. And I said I'd read this to you today. It was kind of towards the end of our show yesterday, and it was a little bit too short of a time period to get into it. But basically, if you have not had a chance to read this letter, here's essentially what it says. Dear Commissioner Engelbert, Caitlin Clark is transforming women's sports. She's inspired a new generation of young girls to participate in athletics and has become one of the most influential figures in the history of women's basketball. She's also the face of your league. Clark has significantly increased fan interest, driven record television ratings, and attracted new corporate sponsors for the WNBA. Millions of casual fans now tune in to watch her play. Unfortunately, what they too often witness is not simply aggressive competition, but repeated acts of unnecessary physical hostility and violence. Clark has been hip-checked, poked in the eye, struck in the throat during games. These incidents go far beyond routine physical play, yet the WNBA and its officiating have too often failed to address these unacceptable incidents and hold players accountable. Recently, a player even appeared to endorse violence against Clark in a social media post, further fueling concerns about the culture surrounding these incidents. In addition, concerning reports suggest that many of these attacks against Caitlin Clark may be racially motivated. As commissioner, you have an obligation to ensure that every player competes in a safe and professional environment, both on and off the court, free from violence, discrimination, or retaliation. If discrimination or retaliation is occurring and creating a hostile work environment, we support any appropriate investigation by the Department of Justice, Department of Labor, or the Equal Opportunity Commission. If true, such conduct could constitute violations of federal civil rights law. It is imperative the WNBA take meaningful action to address this issue. The league has an extraordinary opportunity to inspire the next generation of female athletes to pursue athletics, but that opportunity is undermined when its brightest stars are not adequately protected. Your fans deserve better, and so do young girls who look to the WNBA as a model for excellence, sportsmanship, and opportunity. We request answers to the following questions by July 24th, 2026. That would be 2 weeks from today, close of business, 5 o'clock Eastern probably. 1, what is your review mechanism for physically hostile and violence or hostility and violence on the court? 2, how will you hold players accountable for overly aggressive actions on the court, including towards Caitlin Clark? 3, what steps are you taking to protect WNBA players from online harassment and off-court threats? We are members of the Republican Study Committee, the largest caucus on Capitol Hill, and are committed to strengthening families and protecting opportunities for women in sports. As the commissioner of the WNBA, you should do the same. That's the letter. It was signed by, what do we got here? 4, 8, 11 Congress people. August Pfluger, Mark Alford, Sherry Biggs, Tim Burchett, Victoria Spatz, John Rose, Zach Nunn, Diana Harshbarger, Marlon Stutzman, Pete Sessions, and Aaron Houken. Those are the members of Congress on the Republican Study Committee. I didn't even know there was such a thing.
Funny we didn't get a letter about the four-time MVP Aja Wilson and how much damage she takes on the court every day.
Yeah,
I don't know why that could be, but yeah.
So there you go. Thoughts on that at 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290. And again, I what I'll say, there was a line in here which I would maybe take a little bit of exception to them claiming that this has been racially motivated. I've seen all the women. I've seen women of all kinds in this league who have taken shots at Caitlin Clark or been physical in their play with Caitlin Clark.
I got to be really careful here, but I do think it's racially motivated. But I think the letter's racially motivated. And what I mean by that is I think Caitlin Clark is an inspiration to an entire new generation of basketball fans and basketball players. We all saw the hype. You break the all-time scoring record in college, and all of the crowds, swaths of crowds that would follow her at Iowa in her junior and senior year. And I just think that there's a certain element that want her to be the greatest player in WNBA history. And the fact that she missed portions of her first year and then a huge chunk of her second year, I think a lot of people just want to see her on the court. But again, I think there's a lot of players that could be described as being the next great player to come into the WNBA over the last 15 or 20 years. And I don't know that there's ever been quite the stink that we've seen for Caitlin Clark, again, because of the amount of the sheer numbers that she put up in college is the big reason. All of those national and international headlines about when you talk about breaking Pete Maravich's record, DK, you're going to make some headlines. I think that the WNBA has an officiating problem, period. Before Caitlin Clark came into the league, the physicality was one of the things that some people complained about. The refs didn't necessarily keep. Here's the problem. If you don't keep players in check in the first and second quarter,
right,
by the fourth quarter, you can have some serious extracurriculars going on, and nobody wants that. And so maintaining the level of heat, keeping the level of heat down and not getting it elevated to that point where people are actually taking it out on each other physically on the court in a non-basketball manner should be the goal of every commission of officials for every single professional league across the globe. I don't think that's particular to Caitlin Clark. Now, I will say this. Every single league, the number one NFL draft pick in this year's NFL draft, DK, at the running back position, every linebacker has that game circled, right?
Yeah.
Like you want to challenge all the next. AJ DeBonsa is going to see some crazy defense like he's never seen in his entire life once the NBA season starts. Caitlin Clark came in and overshadowed some of these women who had been working a long time to make a name for themselves. And obviously there's jealousy and obviously there's I want to prove myself, but it doesn't matter what, color skin or what gender you are. If you are the next great thing coming into a league, you better bet the veterans of that league are going to challenge you. We all remember the famous Breonna Stewart commercial when Caitlin Clark came into the league about rookios and how much she liked eating rookies for breakfast. Now, obviously, Caitlin Clark's in her third year now, but I think that attitude of, if you're so good, show it to me. And she is that good. She just needs to stay on the court. And I understand the sympathy for trying to maintain her health. Above and beyond, I just think it should be an even playing field. We don't need to have any kind of, hit lists or any kind of nonsense like that. That needs to be investigated. But if this physical play within the rules of the WNBA, I just think every player is equal among the WNBA rules.
Stephanie White was asked about this whole thing in her pregame press conference yesterday prior to the game last night, and she essentially declined to comment, saying we're not affiliated with any of those groups.
That's what I mean. I think that there's a certain sect of society, DK, are trying to prop Caitlin Clark into a symbol that she doesn't want to be.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's what
she just wants to play basketball.
Yes.
She just wants to play basketball.
Yes.
The narratives are coming from outside the locker room, as the players like to say. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program if you have any thoughts on that letter that was sent to Kathy Engelbert of the Engelbert, I should say.
Nobody likes Kathy Engelbert.
Yeah,
these
exactly,
days, man.
She's on the losing end, I think, from all sides.
Yeah, well, the collective bargaining nonsense from last year, and obviously, a lot of the extracurriculars going on with the officiating, but it just seems like I'm trying to remember the last time I heard a super over-the-top positive thing about the commissioner of WNBA doing a great job. So she's not only under pressure from the players and the coaches, but clearly from Washington, D.C. as well.
Apparently, Gino Arianima had some interesting things to say about this. We'll see if we can pull that sound. We'll get that to you later in the sound. He was on the podcast with longtime media writer from New York City, Richard Deitch. He was on his podcast earlier this week, and Gino always has great things to say about the state of women's basketball. So we'll let you maybe hear that either coming up later today or maybe early in the week next week. We're going to talk some NBA Summer League coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. We'll get an update on Braden Burries. I told you I'd let you know exactly what Braden did today. The Bucks lost their first game in the Las Vegas Summer League as they were on the floor. I think that might have been the first game overall today at the NBA Summer League. There's a bunch of games going on. The Suns play late tonight. The Suns they never earn the early game. It seems like they're always in the 8 o'clock game to start off this tournament. They'll be playing Portland tonight. The games are all over in Las Vegas. They're at the Pavilion. They're at Thomas & Mack Center. I believe some of the games might be at the Grand Garden Arena. I think primarily today at Thomas & Mack Center and Pavilion. And in that game earlier between the Bucks and the Heat, it was Braden Burries getting the start, playing 22 minutes, 18 points, 6 of 15 from the floor, 1 of 5 from 3, 3 of 3 from the line, 18 points, 3 rebounds, 3 assists for Braden Burries.
Yeah, at one point that number
game
was 6 for 8, 6 for 10, and he got a little cold late. But great news, DK. Naquan Tomlin had a great day in Vegas today.
Oh, Naquan Tomlin.
Yeah, from your Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, okay. What did Naquan do?
He had 20 points on 8 for 14 and 6 boards and 4 assists in a big 93-99 loss to the Indiana Pacers.
Okay, there you go. Well, we got the Raptors coming up later tonight. So that'll be a game involving Jaden Bradley this evening. We've got who else is playing today? We've got
the Bulls.
The Bulls. Yeah, the Bulls are playing.
Toby
Waka will be on the floor at 5 o'clock. So those games are at 5 o'clock
and Toronto
and 6 o'clock. The game at 6 o'clock is on regular television, ESPN, the Celtics and the Raptors. So you'll be able to watch JB in that game. You'll need Prime Video to watch Toby at 5 o'clock as the Bulls take on the Grizzlies. DK on the Sports Tip. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Collisions at Shannon and McGee and Shannon, Camino de Oeste and McGee, and also clearing crash Irvington and Park Avenue, with slowdowns for travel on eastbound Irvington at Park Avenue. Also, some usual slowdowns, that is, Alvernon at Grant Road. Due to road work, Alvernon, some slowing at Grant, travel at the intersection down to 1 lane. Weather-wise, 81 the low, 101 tomorrow, 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday, 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by My Doctor Now, your same-day family doctor.
Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses, or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money, so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW. to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000.
It's summertime, and Aleve is here to keep you on the go. Whether it's planes, trains, or automobiles, Aleve's got your back. With up to 12 hours of back pain relief with just one dose, you'll get to your destination and be ready for your next adventure. So pack your sunscreen, your shades, and your Aleve. No matter where your final stop, Aleve will keep you moving. From sun up to sundown, Aleve's got your back this summer. Feel Aleve. Use as directed for minor aches and pains.
Progressive presents Perfectly Bad Excuses for Missing Stuff to spend more time on your motorcycle.
Hey, Tom. Gonna miss the 5K. Gotta organize my vitamins. A, B, C. There's so many. D.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
Good evening, ma'am. We're the Goodfellas AC Rapid Response Team, here for the overnight install of your new AC unit.
Great. Come in. We're so excited for a sleepover.
Oh, well, we're actually putting you and your family up in a hotel for the night. We work while you sleep.
Oh.
Okay, who's ready for a movie night? Popcorn or s'mores?
You know, that sounds pretty good.
No, it doesn't.
Good service, good prices, Goodfellas. Providing overnight installs so you don't miss work or leisure time with your family. GoodfellasAC.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Progressive makes bundling easy and affordable. Get a multi-policy discount by combining your motorcycle, RV, boat, ATV, and more. All your protection in one place. Bundle and save at Progressive.com.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus Media Station. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com. We are your home for Arizona athletics. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
DK on the sports tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
When things aren't going good for your Diamondbacks, just hand the ball to Cousin Merrill and he'll get it done for you. The Diamondbacks closed out, and then when you have really good things going, at the end of the game, hand the ball to Paul Sewald and he'll make sure it gets closed out.
He can go anywhere with it here to Bogaerts.
A strike away. Got him! Paul Sewald back in San Diego, save number 21. And the Diamondbacks get a 4-game split with the Padres.
Diamondbacks download. Baseball talk.
Pitching. It all comes down to pitching. If you can do that, you can win a lot of baseball games. And unfortunately, Diamondbacks haven't necessarily done that consistently enough this season. But they do get out of San Diego with a split. Fortunately, back to one game under 500 at 46 and 47 on the season after a 4-1 win on Thursday night over the San Diego Padres. Offensively, we want to keep getting production from Geraldo Perdomo.
Perdomo rolls it into center. They'll wave Tommy Troy. Here he comes. Geraldo Perdomo gives the Diamondbacks a 2-1 lead.
Hit a home run earlier in the series, and another big game last night. 2 for 4, 2 singles, had an RBI. Batting average slowly starting to come up. Piece at 246. We want to get that higher, and definitely need to start to see more power production from Geraldo Perdomo, who was such a huge piece of the puzzle last year. Still getting some pretty nice power production, though, from the old guy, Nolan Arenado.
1-2 pitch to Arenado. Nolan gets it up in the air, pretty deep left field. This has got some carry to it, and there it goes. Nolan Arenado, that's number 11, and it's 3-1 Diamondbacks. Look at Matsui. He can't believe that one got out of here. It just kept going. So Arenado homered here Monday, and he's now 6 hits away from 2,000.
Big chance to get that stat on the horizon for the veteran Nolan Arenado. But again, the story was Merrill Kelly. Cousin Merrill to the rescue.
And you just said it, that time to change up. He gets swing and miss against Tatis. I'll say he threw a fastball right by him. Got another fastball by him as Merrill climbed the ladder and took a hack at a ball above the belt. He's going out there now and chucking it. 2 strikeouts in a 1-2-3 6th inning. Up the middle, another one on the ground. Jerry collects it, and Merrill Kelly has retired the last 8 batters he's faced.
Merrill Kelly, now 7-8 on the season, allowed just 3 hits, 3 walks, struck out 6, 10-6 on his career now against the Padres. Kevin Ginkel, the Arizona Wildcat, a clean 8th inning. Paul Sewald got his 21st save. The trio of Kelly, Ginkel, Sewald combined to retire the final 14 Padres of the night. And Arizona gets out of San Diego, headed to L.A. with a split.
You want to hear a crazy stat?
Crazy stat. I love crazy stats.
Nolan Arenado is on the brink of 2,000 hits, right?
Yes.
There's only 5 active players with more than 2,000 hits.
Only 5 active players.
Active players.
With more than 2,000
I'm like, it's been a minute since somebody hit that 3,000 hit threshold. I'm curious who's closest. Freddie Freeman is closest. He's about a 500 hits away. But looking at the...
So I was going to say, he's one of them, right? He's one of the guys.
Freddie Freeman. Jose Altuve, McCutchen, Goldschmidt, and Machado.
Andrew McCutchen. Wow.
Yeah, Goldschmidt has 2,200, 2,250. Manny Machado, 2,130. And Nolan Arenado is 6th right now. So only 5 active players with more than 2,000 hits.
There you go.
I mean, Mike Trout has got 1,800, and that would be close to 3,000 if he had been healthy the last 10 years.
You would think, yeah. You would think that he would be on that list, but he's not. That's crazy. I mean, his career, I think I've said this before, his career is kind of like a little bit like Ken Griffey Jr.'s at the end. You know, just the injuries have kept him from really getting to a lot of those statistical milestones.
Yeah, Bryce Harper's on here too. Although he's more power than average. Do you think that's a platooning thing? Like the trend of the last 25 years or so, where players aren't always everyday players?
Yeah, well, Trout, before he got hurt, played every day.
Yeah, no, I don't mean Trout. I just mean the fact that there's so few players on the brink of hitting 3,000. It seemed like a very regular thing during our lifetimes, DK, and not so much anymore.
I think your major players, for the most part, are still playing every day. Do they get... And I mean, and we've looked at those numbers. I mean, they're the guys that play 154 games every year. I mean, there's not going to be a lot of guys that are going to play, I think up to 156, 158 games annually. But you'll get some guys that'll play 152 games consistently in this league nowadays. And I think some of your stars, there's a lot of your stars that can still do that. Dodgers is the next series. Now, interesting news coming out of L.A. Shohei Ohtani will not make his last pitching start before the All-Star break, as he was initially scheduled to go tonight, but he has been scratched, and so he will not pitch again until after Tuesday's All-Star game, which is in Philadelphia. He's been having a little bit of an issue with his left knee, and so the Dodgers going to just give him a little bit of a break in that respect. He is scheduled to be in the lineup tonight. We have not seen the lineup as of yet, but he is scheduled to play at DH, at least DH tonight.
Yeah, I read that he will DH in the interim until the All-Star break, but he's not going to play. He's not going to take an at-bat or pitch in the All-Star game itself because he's going to have a knee procedure during that break.
Yeah, so he won't even do that. But the lineup is now out. Came out about 25 minutes ago, and he is leading off and in the designated hitter spot tonight for the Dodgers.
I mean, they're 61-33, dude. So I don't know if they really, really need the best player in the world in their lineup.
8-2 with a 1.79 ERA and 14 starts, hitting .290 with 20 home runs and 56 RBIs. That is Shohei Ohtani. He's just simply I have not yet seen him play in person. That's maybe that would be. I mean, I haven't tried to set anything up.
Yeah.
To see him play in person, but that's at some point. Yeah, I think you've got to. If you're a true baseball fan,
well, if we ended the show,
got to do that.
If we ended the show at 5 p.m., right?
I still couldn't get there by
drive
7.
to LA. Maybe you could get a private plane to take you out there.
Well, I don't know about that. I don't. I'm not into the. I'm not a Learjet person. Small planes are not my thing. But yeah, at some point, if you are a baseball fan, I would think you would have to an opportunity to go see that guy play in person.
So Messi is wrapping up potentially his final World Cup, we all think.
Right.
LeBron James just broke Kareem's record, which nobody thought was ever going to be broken, right? We're potentially witnessing the greatest single baseball player in the history. I mean, how many sports right now? Didn't Ovechkin just break the great ones record in hockey?
Right.
I mean, it's kind of crazy. If you look, we always talk about the all-time greats, and you really can't evaluate that until a player's career is over. But look around, pretty much every league right now has some kind of exceptionalism or one particular player who is potentially going to be considered the greatest ever when they retire.
Yeah, it's I've seen LeBron. I've not seen Ovechkin. I don't go to enough hockey games, and I have not seen Messi play in person, and I've not seen Ohtani. Our guy Mateo yesterday, he's seen Messi play. Saw Messi play in person in the World Cup
with his binoculars.
With his. Well, yeah, I'm sure he wasn't, it's a football stadium. He probably still was able to see him pretty well. Speaking of our guy, Mateo Stoka, don't forget FC Tucson, huge game tonight. Huge game at Keno North Stadium. I'll be out there, going to head over there after the show is over to check out the Boys in Black final regular season game of the campaign, and it is a must win. Now, they do need some help still. Besides winning tonight is FC Tucson, but they got to win tonight at home against Capo FC to put themselves in a position to have a chance to go to the postseason. They need to finish second, but they also need the team in second, Redlands FC, to lose their final game or tie their final game because that would only give them 1 point. The FC Tucson has the tiebreaker with Redlands, so if the two teams finish tied, they would get the nod behind Ventura County to go into the postseason. So get on out to Keno North Stadium tonight. I don't think there's any rain in the schedule, and 7 o'clock is the kickoff for the match between FC Tucson and Capo FC. It sounds like a mob team, Capo FC, doesn't it? Cricket is here with us today. Cricket, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Do you know what time it is? Cricket.
I actually don't, but I'm ready for whatever time it is.
Are you ready? Are you sure you're ready for what time it is?
I don't know what we're doing right now, but I'm prepared for anything. I've got everything lined up, ready to go.
Well, it is.
You tell me.
It is.
Oh, okay.
It is the
Yules.
The It is the weekend. It is.
We're so good at
best.
that.
Yeah, we are.
We're getting better.
That might be one of the best things we do on this station.
Yeah, we better start a barbershop quartet pretty quick.
Yeah. All right. So, yeah, we got like Cricket said, she's got so much. I've given her so many responsibilities on this show. She's probably going to be asking me for a raise next week. She has no idea. That's what I like. She has no idea what's coming next. No idea what's coming next.
I'm kind of prepared.
Okay. So on this particular visit, Cricket, we will start with your quote.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So J-Dub, music.
Breathe in.
I've had trouble breathing this week.
Oh, no.
Yeah, little under the weather.
Oh, I hope you feel better.
I'm trying.
I want my legacy to be the joy I brought to others. Dream big and work hard, and you too can be in moments like this.
Ooh.
This is an athlete. This is a fine athlete.
This is an athlete.
Yes.
One more time.
I want my legacy to be the joy I brought to others. Dream big and work hard, and you too can be in moments like this.
J-Dub, an athlete. You want to take a gander on that one?
I mean, it sounds to me like somebody who's not American because of the phrasing. So I would guess soccer.
Oh, really?
So I guess Messi.
Ooh.
This is a quote from Caitlin Clark.
Oh, Caitlin Clark.
Wow.
Yes.
The end of it sounded very much like not necessarily like an ESL thing.
Like maybe it just kind of came out like
I'm
that.
assuming that's when she broke the record.
You must have been listening to the show when we were talking about Caitlin Clark earlier.
Yeah.
I like when you pay attention.
I'm sorry, what were you saying? I'm kidding. I was paying attention. And they sell, by the way, this poster. There's a poster on sale on Amazon of Caitlin Clark and her quote.
Okay, one more time then.
I want my legacy to be the joy I brought to others. Dream big and work hard, and you too can be in moments like this.
There you go.
And that's why she's so popular, DK, among this generation. I mean, she's very inspirational. I mean, a lot like Steph Curry. You can see yourself in her because she's not the giantest human ever.
Exactly.
She's just perfected her dribbling skills, perfected her shooting from 35 feet away, and did it so well she became the all-time scorer in college history.
It's amazing.
Yeah. I couldn't even make, last time I was in the gym, I couldn't make it from 15 feet away.
She's incredible.
She could make it from 35 feet away. All right. We got Cricket's quote. Now she's going to tell you everything that is happening on this hot weekend in southern Arizona. What's up this weekend, Cricket?
Yeah, exactly. At least it's not an excessive heat warning.
I was fortunate enough. I looked at the forecast, and it's like,
J-Dub said we're going to be in the 90s.
Well, yeah,
next
103
week.
today,
I
like
might have
101 tomorrow. Then it's like 98, 97, 95, and 50% chance of rain all next week.
Yeah, it going rain.
Yeah, people laugh when I say, the 90s is like a cold spell for us.
It's a cool off, absolutely. So tonight you can experience science at the sunset at the University of Arizona Flandreau Science Center and Planetarium tonight, 6 to 10 p.m. For DK, an 80s dance party at the Surly Wench starts at 9 this evening. And tomorrow, Dog Days of Summer adoption event at Pima Animal Care Center, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Adoption fees waived on all pets, not just dogs. Cats, also a $20 license fee will apply. Silverbell and Sweetwater. And tomorrow night, it is Cold Shot at Reed Park Zoo. It's game night, starts at 6 p.m. So get ready for tic-tac-toe, hopscotch, and water sprinklers for the kiddos at Reed Park Zoo tomorrow night.
You know, I'm sad because my favorite restaurant in town is closing.
Which one?
Dante's.
Dante's Fire
on Grant.
Yeah.
They announced last weekend that they are going to be closing their doors on July the 19th.
Oh, that's sad.
Yeah, that is traditionally been there. The chicken marsala. Get over there and really support those folks in these last 9 days. Get you some of the chicken marsala. It is some of the best chicken marsala I've ever had in my life.
Wow.
Yeah, there's not a lot of places that my wife and I go to like repeatedly. Like, we eat out, but we don't eat out like we kind of spread our love around. But that's one of those places that we generally try to get to at least once a month or once every couple of months. So we probably go there 6 to 8 times a year. So yeah, that's it was sad to hear that Dante's is going to be closing.
13 years is a lot longer than most places lasted.
Yeah, they've done a great job.
Cricket and I've been around for a minute. Like, how about Restaurant Row? Like, how many different restaurants? I think Chef Foy is very good at what he does, so I'm sure whatever it is he does next, I'm sure will be great.
Whatever, yeah, exactly. They'll be lucky to have him.
So go get the marsala. You will not, trust me, you will not be disappointed.
Okay.
All right, Cricket will be back in the 5 o'clock hour. We'll find out how she did on her picket. We'll give her another picket for the weekend and more about what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend. Right now, though, she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the 5s with your traffic and your weather.
And from the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Irvington and Park Avenue, crash clearing there. Expect slowdowns on Speedway on the east side of I-10. Miracle Mile at Flowing Wells going to be busy. Slowdowns on Alvernon at Grant. Roadwork there travels down to one lane each direction. Grant and Alvernon, no left turns permitted. 81, the overnight low. 101 tomorrow. There's a 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday and even into next week. It's 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
In Tucson, a lot of people make their living on construction sites, on the road, or working in warehouses across town. If you're injured at work, you have rights. Call 520-567-8000. Cruz & Associates, a firm you know, help you can trust.
Hey listener, welcome to Limu's Karaoke Lounge, where Liberty Mutual customizes your car insurance so you only pay for what you need, and the music never stops. Hit it!
There's an emu with a full-time job. His partner's Doug, but Limu's the heartthrob. Grubs and worms, that's what Limu eats. Gotta fuel up to save you money and hit the streets.
Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For adults with Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms, every choice matters. Tremfya offers self-injection or intravenous infusion from the start. Tremfya is administered as injections under the skin or infusions through a vein every 4 weeks, followed by injections under the skin every 4 or 8 weeks. If your doctor decides that you can self-inject Tremfya, proper training is required. Tremfya is a prescription medicine used to treat adults with moderately to severely active Crohn's disease and adults with moderately to severely active ulcerative colitis. Serious allergic reactions, increased risk of infections or lower ability to fight them, and liver problems may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection, flu-like symptoms, or need a vaccine. Explore what's possible. Ask your doctor about Tremfya today. Call 1-800-526-7736 to learn more or visit tremfyaradio.com.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Braden Burry's NBA career is off and running in Milwaukee.
Back and forth we go here. The teeter-totter second quarter, 43-41. Burries.
Let's get the shot up. Right here, contact, regather, get it up. Has a chance to get himself to the line for a three-point play.
And ones are going to be certainly in the future for the Arizona Wildcat guard as he begins his NBA career. Milwaukee Bucks playing in the Las Vegas Summer League tournament, losing their opening game 119-86 today to the Miami Heat. Braden Burries scored 18 points in that contest. Let's talk a little bit about how the first week and a half or so of his professional career have gone for Braden Burries. Pleased to be joined by Jim Owczarski. He writes the beat for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, covering all things Bucks. And Jim, appreciate you taking a few moments to join us. So what's the start of the Braden Burries trajectory been like for him, and how he's been received in his short time in Milwaukee?
Yeah, it's the thing that has struck me and locally everyone the most is sort of the composure element, and the, I don't know how to say this, it's like a flat demeanor. Like there was just this clearly an excitement to be an NBA draft pick and start his career, but just kind of even keeled, just level. Like there was no raised voice anywhere, or clearly the emotional pitch kind of stayed the same. He was just kind of cutting through the waves, not riding them. And the reason I say that stands out is because, look, on draft night in Brooklyn, in the green room, somebody asked him about, joining a team without Giannis and being part of that going forward. I asked him about that, and just see him sort of walk right into that, understand it, embrace it, not get too one way or another about it, though, I thought was really impressive.
Yeah, he's a young man that, just like you mentioned, he has an even keel. He never seems to be overly excited or out of sorts. He just has that demeanor that I think you really like in somebody that I think that's going to be kind of at the forefront of a program that he, even in times where it seemed like early in his U of A career where he kind of struggled at the beginning, you never could really tell that it was affecting him. He's got, I guess, since they're in Vegas this week, it'd be perfect. He's got a great poker face. It might be the best way to put that. I would imagine this was a guy that you all thought the Bucks would grab. I mean, you guys had two picks in the top 15 this year, and it seems like, the Bucks got two players that they were really identifying as who could have potentially been either the 10 or the 13.
Yeah, and obviously at 10, where Braden was picked, they've got to wait for the draft to unfold, right? And broadly speaking, they were going to take a guard, right? It was clearly a very strong draft at that position, particularly in that, once you got past Caleb Wilson, right? So which guard would it be? But yeah, like in terms of Braden specifically, definitely checked a lot of the boxes in terms of his competitiveness, willingness to be coached. Obviously the skill sets So yeah, at 10, I think they were very happy that he was there. And it did, that I think they for sure wanted to find a guy who could fit with Taylor Jenkins, the new head coach who's coming in and trying to reset a culture here and, quite frankly, lead a turnaround and a rebuild. And so, I don't know. I guess we'll find out if Braden is a quote-unquote star, but it feels like the floor is very low or high. Excuse me. He's a high floor kind of player who will really fit with Jenkins sort of culturally, mentally, and obviously skill set wise.
Jim Owczarski is our guest. He covers the Milwaukee Bucks for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. Braden Burries taken with the 10th pick overall in the NBA draft earlier this month. A new era, obviously, in Milwaukee, the end of the Giannis Antetokounmpo era as he was traded away to Miami. This is a whole new deal now for the Bucks and Buck Nation. What's the feeling right now as this franchise turns the page away from a player who led them to their lone championship in quite a long time?
Yeah, I mean, it's not a great feeling. You don't really see top 4 or 5 players in the world get traded in their prime. It's a relatively unprecedented situation. And the Bucks just went from contending for championships every year since 2018 to now a team that just hopes to be competitive. I mean, it is a pretty drastic culture shock for the fan base, for the team. It's just a 180, and they haven't seen this here really. I mean, look, they didn't win titles in 15, 16, 17, but you saw the trajectory of Giannis and Chris Middleton. Whereas now it's, Braden is leading, obviously this rookie class that includes Nate Ament and to a degree, Bogoljub Markovic, their second round pick last year, who just came in. It's a new start, and you don't know who will be part of what's next. I mean, obviously they hope Braden is, but when you're at the beginning of something like this, you just really you don't know what's coming. And it's just a really unique place for the franchise and, quite frankly, the fan base.
I know it's only been a couple of days since he got there, but has there been anything that stood out about Braden in terms of in practice, on the floor, anything of that nature where the coaches were like, yeah, this is kind of what we thought we might be getting?
A great question. And yeah, sort of immediately, I went to Sacramento, the California Classic Summer League, and he made his debut out there, played well, and had some highlights, which, you kind of want to see and expect. But the thing that stood out was assistant coach Patrick St. Andrews, been in the league, over a decade at this point. Assistant coach here in Milwaukee when they won the title, seen a lot, right? And he said Braden was watching the Summer League game, one of those first ones in Sacramento, and started seeing some stuff that the opponent was doing and wandered over into a huddle and said, hey, Saint, hey, this is how we should attack this defense. This is what we should do. And Patrick was like, oh, kind of came back, looked at it, and, said, yeah, maybe we should do some of this stuff. And Saint was really, he said in all of his time, he's never had a rookie, sort of diagnose, discern what he was seeing with his teammates like that. But then he said, have the self-confidence to go to the coaching staff and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I think this can work. And he made it clear how he started this conversation. It wasn't sort of a boisterous, I know better than you type of situation. It was being a good teammate, but also a guy who was very confident in his ability to see what was going on.
Jim Owczarski is our guest. He writes the Bucks beat for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel. If I'm not mistaken, Jim, it was your second year was the championship year, or was that your first year on the beat?
That was my first year coming back on the beat, yeah.
Wow. So, obviously you were there, and we were here, and we were up 2-zip. And so there's still a lot of hurt. One of the guys that sits to my right is a huge Suns fan. There's still a lot of hurt feelings about that series out here. What did you see as the turning point in the Bucks being able to win 4 straight and get that championship?
Yeah, it's funny because I'm working on some of the 5-year anniversary stuff here. Look, the turning point was Giannis Antetokounmpo being cleared to play, first of all. I mean, it's easy to forget how nasty that injury was in the Eastern Conference Finals. And It was sort of a surprise that Giannis could play. So clearly that was huge. I would say, after Game 2, it was, talking to some of these guys now after the fact, it was Mike Budenholzer's change to put PJ Tucker on Chris Paul. And what that was just throw PJ's body at Chris. Just hit him, find some contact with him, make him work, particularly on the offensive glass where, they would try to hide Chris on PJ because he wasn't an offensive threat per se, but they made him a threat by making him crash the glass and just, now we add in the pick up 94 feet element of it. And I think them just really trying to get into Chris and wear him down. I think those two things, the obvious being Giannis, and then perhaps the less obvious in the moment was what they did to try to wear Chris out.
Hey, Jim, as somebody that worked closely and covered Mike Budenholzer, why don't you think it worked for him in Phoenix?
Man, that's really hard to say from afar, but you know what? Jordan Ott is now the longest tenured coach in the current ownership.
Hey, if you can get to a second season, that's saying something.
Yeah, so I don't know if maybe there was just some of that of you hate to just do a blanket new owner thing, especially from afar, but you're seeing what's going on in Portland. And honestly, here I covered, my direct experience was I covered the new ownership of Wes Edens and Mark Lasry from Herb Cole. And the first thing they did was undercut the current head coach and trade for Jason Kidd in the middle of nowhere. And fired Larry Drew, and suddenly Jason Kidd's the face of the franchise. So, I've also lived sort of the new owner trying to establish themselves type of thing. So, again, you guys probably know better than me, but at least from afar, that's just how that looked like.
Jim, I am a Cleveland Browns fan, and I'll be honest with you, I had no idea Jimmy Haslam was the Bucs owner until like April when his name started popping up around stuff. I'm like, wait a minute, why am I seeing Jimmy Haslam's name associated with the Bucs? How does that work exactly? That he can own two teams?
Yeah, this is one of the more. I'm not going to bog you down on all the mechanics here, but it's one of the most unique probably the most unique ownership situation in basketball. I mentioned you two co-owners there in Edens and Mark Lasry. Well, Haslam bought out Mark Lasry back in 2023, believe it or not, and has sort of been this sort of not silent but kind of in the background co-owner. The Bucs have this unique construct, guys, where every 5 years the governorship rotates. So Jimmy is about to quote unquote come into power, if you will, in the next year or so. So that's why you're seeing his name a little bit more. He bought in a few seasons ago, and he is an easy target among Bucs fans because he's an owner, but really the last few years, guys, he hasn't. Not that he hasn't had a say, but he couldn't do much. Like he has no vote in the league and stuff like that. So yeah, it's been very interesting to see him kind of take some slings and arrows in town. But also, yeah, we're going to enter really the Haslam era that's going to match this, Giannis being gone era.
And well, good luck with that. I'm not a big fan. I'll just tell you that. So you actually also covered the Green Bay Packers for a segment, right? I got to ask you, any memories of our guy Blake Martinez from Canyon Del Oro High School and his time there running the linebacker position for the Packers?
Yeah, Blake was. I did cover the Packers, little Bengals too in my recent past. Yeah, Blake was. Put it this way, he was just one of those solid guys. Not really running to come talk to us all the time. But it's funny because it seemed like for years after A.J. Hawk and even now, even after Blake, they're always missing that steady kind of inside linebacker, middle linebacker type. And Blake, look, it maybe sounds bland and generic, but having a very steady, calm individual, kind of like we start this conversation with Braden.
Yeah, right.
It can be a little underrated when you don't have it. And so, yeah, Blake definitely made an impact on the field, but you kind of notice once they moved on and he moved on that, they're missing that type of player.
Hey, Jim, we look forward to the beginning of Braden Burry's era in Milwaukee. We look forward to having a chance to talk to you again down the road about how it's going for our Arizona Wildcat star.
For having me.
Jim Owczarski, he is the beat writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel, covering the Bucks, and cricket is covering your traffic and weather every 20 minutes on the 5.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. I-10 and Colbin I-10 are reported brush fire. We've got Irvington and Park Avenue in Irvington. That collision is clearing. And also road work and a closure, 22nd Street closed between Tucson Boulevard and Cherry Belle Stravenue. 81 the overnight low, 101 tomorrow. Really good chance of rain. On Sunday, 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday and into the week, 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio, 1290 Traffic and
This
Weather.
report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by Prevagen. Prevagen, made for your brain. LeBron James will not be courted by elaborate presentation. Teams are sending their best proposal to one of the best players of all time via voice memo. Reports say that team presidents, general managers, and even owners record voice memos and send them to LeBron via his agent, Rich Paul. It's just the latest in the LeBron James saga. I'm Adam Abdallah.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Summer's finally here, and we're kicking it off with a whole lot of free. Free brake pads with Duralast rotors. Free oil filter with 5 quarts of oil. Free Armor All wipes with Armor All glass cleaner, and more. More free, so you can have more summer. Celebrate free at AutoZone. Now through July 27th. Restrictions apply.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance engineer at a beverage manufacturing plant, he starts his day knowing every line is ready to run because Grainger delivers the industrial-grade products he needs to keep mixers, conveyors, and packaging equipment moving. With Grainger's vast selection of bearings, belts, and motors, he keeps operations running smoothly, so nothing grinds to a halt. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Tobacco Barn presents the continuing saga of Captain Tobacco.
We now join our damsel in distress tied to the railroad tracks, a victim of high tobacco prices.
Help! Somebody save me!
Never fear, my dear. Captain Tobacco is here.
Captain, high prices are coming down the track.
You'll never stop my high prices. Pardon me while I untie this fair lady.
It's Tucson's only place to save up to 40% on all your favorite tobacco products.
There, you're free.
My hero.
Rats.
You'll pay no city or state sales tax because they're on the reservation, and save up to another $3 off with a coupon at TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Now for you, high prices, I dare ya.
Hooray!
That's why I'm Captain Tobacco, fighting high tobacco prices everywhere.
Captain, I could just kiss you.
Oh, no.
Oh, brother. Tobacco Barn, Nogales Highway, just south of Valencia. Check TobaccoBarnTucson.com.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health. Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000.
Sean Furrier for Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care. America's Big 250 starts this month. Did you know Tucson's first Presidio is 250 plus? If you're not careful, you can still experience those original dirt roads crossing town in the bottom of wagon wheel busts and suspension slaying potholes. It's why Arizona drivers count on Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care to protect their tires and suspension for life with Jack's Plus Pack. Every passenger and light truck tire we install comes with a free alignment check and 12 additional services, including professional installation and lifetime tire maintenance. If you're shopping around, Jack's got you covered with major brands and budget-friendly tire options. Compare Jack's total installed price. Backed by our low price promise, we've got you covered completely through both our seasons, monsoon and road construction. Check out Jack's Plus Pack, a $249 value at jackfurriers.com. So make an appointment online, call ahead, or just stop by any of our 14 award-winning locations. Jack Furrier Tire and Auto Care since 1960, we're here to get you there.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, apparently the Las Vegas Summer League is underway, but the big news today coming out of Las Vegas involving the Milwaukee Bucks was not about anything that happened on the floor today in the young kids' loss to the Miami Heat. Interesting, they were playing the Miami Heat because obviously those two teams did a mega deal during the area of the calendar right prior to the draft. Giannis Antetokounmpo traded from the Bucks to the Heat. The Heat sending back Tyler Hero and some other players to Milwaukee in exchange. A little bit of some unpleasantries apparently took place today in Las Vegas between new Buck, former Heat Tyler Hero, and his former Miami teammate Bam Adebayo. The story that is out right now is that the two got into a physical altercation at the Resorts World earlier today when I guess they have a practice court there. I've stayed at that. I've been to the Resorts World. It's one of the great new hotels on the Las Vegas Strip. I've never been to the basketball part of that, if that's a permanent part of it, if it's just something that they put up this week for teams to practice and that kind of thing.
Private bougie basement. You got to have a special key to get in there.
Yeah, I definitely don't have the private bougie key. I did go to a really cool cocktail bar there. When we went there a few weeks ago. We went on a bar crawl that was just inside of Resorts World.
That's a good way to die. Like the words bar crawl in Las Vegas probably should never be put together in the same sentence.
The one bar with the last one was on the rooftop, though. It was really cool. Had a great view of the Strip. So I forget what it was called. I tweeted about it, but I don't remember the name of the place off the top of my head. Anyway, I digress. But yeah, apparently this goes back, J-Dub, to some things that Tyler said in his direct messages on Instagram or one of these social media accounts that kind of got out.
People who don't follow the NBA, let me explain to you how this works. A lot of star power these days, a lot of storylines. Wemby is going to be Brunson. But once the season ends, DK, it goes straight to tabloid. Like, the NBA fans go from following the game on the court to following any kind of extracurriculars they can off the court. It's a huge part of offseason NBA fandom. And about 10 days ago or so last week, some reports came out that a DM from Tyler Hero maybe didn't mention Bam Adebayo in the most flattering way. And all intents and purposes, they were really close and really, close teammates. I think Hero and Bam must have spent 4 or 5 years together, if not more, with the Miami Heat. So they've definitely been through a lot of wars together. But apparently there was some, what was perceived to be talking behind Bam's back by Tyler Hero. And this morning, news broke that Tyler Hero was with his AAU team in Las Vegas, and no video that we've seen as of yet. A lot of people are hoping TMZ was somewhere around, or they're going to sell it to those guys.
How is TMZ not in Las Vegas when all these NBA players are hanging out?
They're everywhere, because how this works is everybody's got a phone in their pocket, and if you want to make $25,000, you got a video of Bam Adebayo punching Tyler Hero, you could probably make that happen pretty quick by calling TMZ. But yeah, I mean, it's again, I don't think I've heard of a lot of former teammate fisticuffs on the first day of Las Vegas Summer League. But that being said, I mean, I think the issue here is some players in the Heat locker room feel like Pat Riley, really gave Bam Adebayo a little bit of a special treatment, and he was never on the trading block. A lot of players, including Jimmy Butler, were during that same period in time. But I mean, Bam is the one who just scored 83 points to become the second leading highest game scorer in NBA history behind Wilt Chamberlain last year. Defensive, stalwart. I also know that Bam's like 6'10", 250, and Hero is not that.
No,
so that's
not.
That's like a featherweight and a heavyweight.
So how does this play? I mean, how does Tyler Hero play in Milwaukee? I mean, what does he do for this new page for the Bucks?
Well, he plays the same position as Braden Burries, and that's the interesting thing, is that we're not really sure exactly how that roster is going to fit together. But I mean, Tyler Hero was very, very highly thought of coming out of college, and a little bit streaky, a little bit injuries, had some injury issues along the way, but he's a guy who can easily give you 40 points, 30, 40 points in a game. Outside shooter, not great at getting to the hole, good, decent facilitator, not a great defender, but a really, really good ball handler. And he's got that Steph type game where he loves the step back 35 footers type of thing. I think it was injury a little bit on the injured list last year. What their plans are for him in Milwaukee, I couldn't even tell you, DK, because I think this offseason, more dominoes are going to fall and change places than we may have ever seen in any NBA offseason ever. Giannis, one of the top 5 players in the league. No top 5 players in the league get traded when they're in their prime. That just doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Right? LeBron chose to leave Cleveland, was it 15 years ago this week, with the decision initially, but trading a player of that caliber, when they still have quite a lot of wear on their tires is super rare. I'm not sure Milwaukee's just going to have a little bit of a confusing period, because you've centered everything that you do offensively and defensively around Giannis for the last 10 plus years. So they really got to figure out, they got a new head coach coming in, but I would imagine with the style and the players that they've got, that they'll try to outscore people more so than try to hold people down. And Tyler Hero and Braden Burries, I'm sure, will be a big part of that.
All right, so apparently this was Tyler Hero talking to a fan in direct messaging is kind of when this all got out, and he was taking shots at Bam Adebayo, who's scheduled to make somewhere between $50 and $58 million over the next 3 seasons, and it had to do. Basically, I'll read you some of what these DMs said here. So this is Tyler speaking. It's a MFA making $60 million, but they worried about me and what I do. Gentleman responds, Bam, a guy, please stop. Why are the Heat fans so worried about me and what I do, but I'm not the best player on the team, right? Bam, the other guy says, Bam do his job, top 5 defender, 20 and 10. You the score first guy, I need 25 and 10 out of. And then Tyler fires back, you should get $60 million to be a top-tier defender on some nights. I'm just wondering. since we talking, then the guy says, I think it's because he performed during the playoff runs. Then Tyler came back and said, buddy, if I'm healthy, they can't see me. Word to my mother, if I'm healthy, I'm the one who needs help. Who did Cleveland prioritize taking away in the playoffs? Who did Boston prioritize taking away when Jimmy got hurt when we was the 8th seed? When I'm healthy, I need help, not the other guy. Word to my kids. Come on now, let's call a spade a spade. Then the other guy says, I think it's because he performed on those playoff runs. He was the best player in the last finals. And then Tyler said, I didn't say any names. I'm just saying, should an elite defender be making $60 million a year? Answer that. If the shoe fits, it fits. J-Dub, should an elite defender? That seems like a lot of money for a guy that's primarily a defensive player to be making. Am I wrong?
No, I mean, you're not wrong at all. I think Bam, we just saw him score 83 in a game. He's clearly capable. If you watch the progress of Bam Adebayo since he came into the league, it's not too dissimilar, DK, from what Giannis changed in his game when he came into the league. Couldn't shoot, wasn't a good facilitator, was just a straight line driver. But Tyler Hero is a very, very confident young man.
Yeah.
That's what I will say. And I think that a lot of the talk, like I just said, I think if there has been any splinters in that Heat locker room, it's simply due to the idea that the Heat have made a lot of big trades in the last 5 or 6 years, and Bam's name is not on that list. The other thing I'll say, DK, is, guys, you're multimillionaires.
Right,
Stop
exactly.
talking trash with random fans.
Yeah, especially when you know that stuff's probably going to get out there because everybody wants to be famous.
Tyler is from Milwaukee.
Yeah, exactly. Coming home. I'm coming home. Let's see if other players come home this offseason.
I mean, let's see. Who would that be? Hallie? Hallie's from that area.
There you go. Halliburton. I don't think he's going anywhere.
I don't think he's going anywhere.
No.
I think he's going to retire as a Pacer, if I had to guess.
520-848-1290. 520-848-1290. Do you think, maybe we'll make that the question of the day, should a top-tier defender in the NBA, is a top-tier defender in the NBA worth $60 million? Like Tyler said, on some nights, maybe. He did hit 83 points, though, in a game, so maybe the offensive side of that game is starting to come for one.
Bam's great. I mean, if you look at the Heat, what they've done in the last 15 years, DK, is take non-drafted players and put them in positions to be successful. I mean, most of the players on their recent final run, nobody had even heard of before that run, right? Tyler Hero was a highly thought of player, was a Wisconsin guy, obviously Kentucky, he's where he played college. But Bam is a guy you want to build around in the modern NBA. I don't have a problem with Bam's style and making that kind of money. The only problem I have with the Heat is I'm not sure how you have Giannis. We talk about having too many basketballs. If Kyrie Irving and Steph Curry are in the same backcourt, DK. Right. That's the same situation because Giannis and Bam try to do a lot of the same things offensively, so that'll be interesting. But I will say that being a great defender can get you a good chunk of money, as we also saw today from another participant, one who spent some time in the NBA Finals recently.
We'll talk about a big contract, but maybe not as big as it could have been for one of the NBA's young superstars. DK on the Sports Tip, 520-848-1290 is the number for you to get in on this conversation. You're listening to Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, this is Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Eastbound I-10 approaching Grant Road, a crash occurred there and got cleared pretty quick. Well, it is off on the side of the road and no longer blocking travel eastbound I-10 approaching Grant, but some slowdowns, that is, of course, for eastbound I-10 approaching Grant. Also, earlier wreck at Irvington and Park, La Cañada and Duval Mine Road is reported as a hit and run. And for your weather, we're looking at 81, the overnight low. There is a slight chance of some showers later this evening. 101 tomorrow, 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday, and 106 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic and weather together.
This report is sponsored by AutoZone. Get in the zone. Starting stronger starts at AutoZone, where they've got battery solutions in the form of free battery testing, free battery charging, and replacement. Batteries that fit your needs. That's what makes them America's #1 battery destination. Get in the zone. AutoZone.
With Progressive's Name Your Price tool, you can choose the best coverage option for you. Because you know you. Like, you know that hiking isn't for you. Sure, it sounds nice to be in nature while exercising, but that's what a gym and houseplants are for. I mean, you don't even like walking upstairs, so why would you walk up a hill for miles? To what, end up high in the air? Come on, you know you're scared of heights. Only you know you. So get coverage options within your budget with Progressive's Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law.
Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season. I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health. Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000.
When you first saw her, she was out walking her dog. You didn't notice her at first. But when you finally did, it was too late. Because at that moment, you were speeding. She was out walking her dog and only had a second to let go of the leash. Your foot was on the gas, and her life was on the line. Speeding catches up with you. Paid for by NHTSA.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Tune to DK on the Sports Tip weekdays from 3 to 6 p.m. The Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Well, I'm not sure Bam Adebayo is worth $60 million a year, but this young man certainly is.
Spurs got numbers hungry now behind the plate. 5 on 4. Wemby's going to pull a deep three. Oh, my goodness.
Victor Wembanyama, he's got a new contract, according to ESPN, 5 years, $252 million maximum rookie scale contract. So what? That's only like $50 million. So he's not even getting this alleged $60 million.
Well,
that Bam Adebayo's getting.
Funny you say that, because if people out there listening know how the Supermax escalators work, if by the end of your rookie contract you haven't played 7 years and you've made either an All-NBA first team, been voted as MVP, or as Defensive Player of the Year, you get a 30% escalator to your rookie contract. Today, Victor Wembanyama and his representation chose the 25% rookie escalator contract, which means he's leaving about $10 million per season on the table. Very similar to what we saw Jalen Brunson do for his contract 5 years ago, which led them to being able to sign OG, Mikal Bridges, and the rest of those guys that led them to a title. I'm telling you, man, the second apron of the CBA that got signed 4 or 5 years ago has every GM scared. This young core for the Spurs is dynamic. They got it from all angles. Great center, great point guard, great shooting guard. Carter Bryant coming forward as the three, a really, really nice young core. But the way that contracts work nowadays, with the escalators, it could be only 4 or 5 year window before they have to start trading away some of those pieces. But Vic leaving some money on the table makes it so that they can actually, add a veteran free agent in offseason if they need to.
Healthy for the most part this past season, played in 64 games, 25 points, 12 rebounds, 3 assists, Defensive Player of the Year, also led the league in blocks. And I've said that that's going to be the big thing for him. And we talked obviously about injuries earlier in the show in terms of how it relates to Caitlin Clark being one of the top players in the women's league, but not being able to necessarily be on the floor to the extent that you'd like. Christian Pulisic this week, the best player on the men's soccer team, United States men's national team, but not being at full strength because he was not completely healthy. The Spurs will come and go as Wemby's health comes and goes, and then, as they would like to say, hopefully stays, and he can be a guy that can play 64 to 70-plus games every year. Again, I don't know that you expect this young man to play 82 or be that type of guy, but, anywhere between still think what's the MEM, 65? The MEM?
Yes.
Is the MEM. I think he can be a guy that plays between 65 and 75 games every year.
And if you look at their draft, they drafted a center and a power forward. So they're drafting for depth and a little bit of physicality to help behind Wemby. But yeah, I mean, I don't think anybody. I don't think the days of playing 82 games every year for the superstars, DK, exists anymore. I think the rest is going to be pretty standard. But yeah, I mean, we've never seen a human being, let alone a basketball player, move like him.
Right.
He's just more fluid than anybody I've ever seen over 7'2", 7'3". I didn't see Ralph Sampson in his prime. But I saw Mark Eaton, bro, and Mark Eaton was lumbering up and down the court, right? A lot of guys who are 7'3", 7'4", they just have different proportions, gigantic feet. But Wemby glides, and Wemby moves like a guard. Not to mention he's got the ball handling skills of a guard. So when you put all those things together and you look at his shot selection, there are a lot of opportunities for him to get into an injury situation. And hopefully they work on his offensive go-to post move or some kind of mid-post move, because that's the one thing that's truly lacking from his game. Right now it's a lot of free-wheeling out there and a lot of just trusting his instincts with the ball. The shot selection could be worked on. But as far as his longevity, DK, I think it just comes down to them really making a concerted effort and focus on where he's trying to do his damage. Because if it's going to be down there 5 feet without those lob passes behind the side of the defense, but doing any kind of work down there in the block, I think it's a little bit more prone to getting an injury situation that could be more serious. But I think everybody outside of OKC fans would love to see Victor Wembanyama have a long, healthy career because, again, we've never seen anything like this before.
Interesting, some things happening on the college front as well this week. The Arizona Wildcats suffered a bit of a loss on the recruiting trail when one of their targets in the class of 2027, a young man by the name of Marcus Spears Jr., decided to reclassify, and in so doing committed to Sean Miller and the University of Texas. And this could be, J-Dub, a trend that we begin to see a little bit more often by some of these players coming coming out of high school and into college, where they make that year jump to get a quicker start on their clock as well to try to maybe get into the league.
Yeah, so if people don't know, there's a new 5-and-5 rule where you have 5 years to complete 5 seasons of eligibility in 5-year calendar period, meaning that you can, yes, redshirt any of those years as people have been known to do in the last 40, 50 years. But if you don't, you're allowed 5 years of eligibility. However, you're not draft eligible until you're a year removed from your 18th birthday, or 1 year of college, and or both of those together, right? And so both the situation of Marcus Spears Jr. and also an international prospect who also committed this week to UCLA, Boynton, they're both 17, DK, which means that signing these NILs and, what are they even called anymore? Letter of intents? I mean, I don't even know what the terminology. But by going to UCLA and by going to Texas, these two young men, DK, are going to be in school for 2 years.
Yeah.
Or at least they can't go to the NBA for 2 years. So they could play, technically, I guess, 12 months in college and then go play overseas in Europe for a year and come back. But they're not going to be eligible for the NBA draft for 2 years. So this could be an interesting trend. If you have the grades and the wherewithal to be able to skip your senior season, a lot of players, you'll hear that story, and reclassify for a class above you as a younger person. That means you could have a couple of years of developing in college with college-level training, college-level nutrition, college-level coaches, and also be able to make that, $3 to $5 million NIL number that some of the higher paid athletes are getting these days. So I think it's a way to deter maybe people from going the Brandon Jennings route and, going to a different continent, or who is it, LaMelo Ball played in Australia for a year. So keeping, the homegrown talent, well, in the case of foreigner, obviously he's from FC Barcelona, but 17-year-olds, DK, is not rare in college. But with the new rule, it just means it's more of that college baseball style thing where they're going to be on campus for a while. And that's great. Great for Coach Miller, obviously great for UCLA as well to get such young, I'm blanking on his name, but
Nicola Kusturica.
Yeah, Kusturica. Yeah. He is considered to be one of the best, if not the best, young prospects in all of Europe. So 2 big gets for those programs, and we may be seeing them around for a bit.
And not only that, but a lot of people believe that he is the odds-on favorite to be the top selection in the 2028 draft, this Nicola Kusturica, who was among other teams. Gonzaga was looking to try to potentially get his services. No surprise there. Don't know if he had Arizona on his list. I have not seen any publications that Arizona was one of the schools. Kentucky was on that list, as well as Michigan was apparently trying to bid for his services prior to his decision to choose the UCLA Bruins. So unfortunate loss for Arizona that they did not get Marcus Spears, obviously the son of Marcus Spears, who you see analyzing NFL games on ESPN, and a former National Football League player. His son, obviously a basketball star.
Yeah, so if you watched Kobe Pete play last year, that's what Marcus Spears Jr. is going to bring to Austin. Very physical. He's actually a very skilled player for his size. He's like 6'10", but he's every bit the son of an NFL player for 9-year NFL player. He's definitely built like that.
Sean Miller had this to say, Marcus Spears had this to say about choosing Texas. He said the alignment. I keep going back to the alignment. Sean Miller has a basketball plan for me, and he has coached and developed some of the best in the game, DeAndre Ayton and Aaron Gordon. There you go. So that's kind of one of the reasons that he chose to do this deal.
Didn't we just talk 2-3 weeks ago before the NBA drafts about the importance of Coach Lloyd getting some of the guys that he recruited and or maybe they weren't necessarily at that first-round level before they spent some time with Coach Lloyd? Now, I think DeAndre Ayton was the number 1 high school recruit coming out. Aaron Gordon was a top 10, if not top 5 high school recruit coming out. So both those guys would have been top draft picks regardless of, Coach Miller's influence or not, kind of like Coach Cal. But to be able to have a player 10 years later, DK, point to a player like Aaron Gordon. I want to be like that guy who coached him in college. Yeah. I'm going to go to Texas.
Yep. There you go. So Marcus Spears Jr. headed to Austin for what will likely be 2 years of college basketball. 520-848-1290, 520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. You can call us at that number. You can text us at that number. We are going to get into some college football coming up here later in this hour. The coaches were on the stage at the Big 12 Media Days, and one of the topics that came up was the expansion of the college football playoff. What did Brent Brennan have to say about how he feels about all of that? You'll hear from Brent and several of the other coaches coming up as well. Cricket is back with us right now, and J-Dub, I'm going to play something on this side here. So we've got a new thing. It's called Pick It with Cricket. And yesterday on Pick It with Cricket, Cricket picked Indiana to beat Phoenix. That's a win.
Yes.
That's a win for Cricket. Pick
Yay,
it with
me.
Cricket. Yes. My top play was I told the people to take the Mercury and the 1.5 points. So I came out the loser on that one. The loser. Yeah. You are in fact the winner.
Wah, wah,
on that
wah.
one. All right. So we are going to have, you're going to tell us what's going on, and then I'm going to have another thing for you to pick as we go into the weekend. Here, I got the wrong screen up here because people can't even see you. There.
They don't need to see that.
See how you magically appeared in that box right there?
That's crazy.
It's magic. It's magic. All right, what's happening in Southern Arizona this weekend? I'm going to the soccer game tonight. The football game, FC Tucson, is at Keno North Stadium, 7 o'clock against Capo FC. Don't mess with the Capos.
The Mafia.
You might find the Mafia team. You might find yourself 6 feet under if you mess around with those guys. But yeah, I'll be out there tonight, 7 o'clock. If they need to win and get some help to get into the postseason. What else is happening though, Cricket?
At the Love Cinema on Speedway all weekend, the cult classic is the Blair Witch Project.
Oh,
And yeah,
did you see that?
I did.
I thought that was kind of disappointing.
It was kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about, it's going to make you sick. And
Exactly.
I was just waiting for that moment. I don't know why I wanted to watch it. Everyone's saying it's going to make me sick, but
yeah.
But it is like a pop culture classic that,
it is.
everyone's got to see at least once.
Well, it was the first found footage movie that they ever made. That's why it was what it was. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that spawned an entirely new genre of movies.
That's absolutely, totally true. Tomorrow night, the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Also Saturday night, tomorrow night, Cool Summer Nights at the Arizona Sonora Desert Museum. Radical Reptiles is the theme. Summer Safari Nights at Reed Park Zoo also tomorrow night. And another reminder, Dog Days of Summer adoption event at Pima Animal Care Center tomorrow, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. Free pet adoptions, dogs and cats, a $20 license fee will apply. And there's going to be fun like food trucks and a shelter scavenger hunt, raffle prizes, and all the pets. Go pet all the dogs. Silver Bell in Sweetwater tomorrow.
All right, that's a lot of what is happening on this hot weekend here in Southern. The other thing I'm excited about, I get to go to my first HOA meeting tomorrow.
You're excited about that?
I've never been a part of an HOA, so I'm looking forward to watching grown-ups argue.
It's like going to court.
Exactly.
But just less trouble.
Yeah, there's already drama. There's already drama in the neighborhood, if you know what I mean.
It's not drama. It's more like, here's the 3 shades of beige that you're allowed to paint your fence. Let's vote on which one we want to choose.
No, there's the drama seems to be a little bit
deeper.
We've got multiple letters being traded around, people that are supposed to be sending letters or sending letters to other people inside the complex. It's all kinds of crazy stuff happening.
Well, that's the old adage, right?
They're probably like, why is he talking about our business? Why is he throwing our business out into the public?
Yeah, no, I mean, traditionally...
I don't know if we want him living here. He's going to be talking about us all the time on the radio.
Now, traditionally, people who head up those organizations are potentially from a long-standing 40-year career and no longer are in that career and are looking something to give them the same little bit of jolt. So the drama, it comes from inside the house.
That's what most of the people running for the board had in their emails and their resumes was like, yeah, I've retired this, retired that, used to run this, used to run that.
Legit. No, that's been the case for 30 plus years.
That's have to have something to do.
Yeah, something.
Wow.
All right. So I'm looking for. I told my wife, I was like, I hope hope there's alcohol. She's
And
like
snacks.
like alcohol and snacks. Like at least if we're gonna argue, let's day drink, and but that might fuel the arguments a little bit even more. So I just want the wasp at my pool taken care of. That's all I want.
Do me one
I
favor.
don't want wasp at my pool.
That's fair.
That's the only thing I asked. I'm not asking for a lot. Just get rid of the wasp at my pool. That's all I'm asking for.
Just do this for us, and please don't get banned in your first meeting.
We want
I sent a letter. My wife was like, "You have to let me proofread that before you send it." Because,
really?
Because I'm one of those people who I will lay it out there in maybe not so nice terms. But she was like, you can't be like sending emails with capital letters on the first time we just got here. I'm one of those people. I will send capital letters. I am a capital letters email writer for sure. All right, cricket. Pick it with cricket. Cricket.
Okay.
Pick it with Pickett. Will Argentina beat Switzerland on Saturday?
I say no.
Whoa, really?
Yeah.
Okay. She is going with the underdog in this game, Argentina and Switzerland. All right.
Switzerland, I think.
Here we go. Okay, so next week we start keeping track. That'll be your last freebie. This is the preseason.
Would it change your mind if we told you the greatest player of all time plays for Argentina?
No, I don't want to go back on
All
that.
right.
Like I
Get after it.
feel like it's like a gut feeling. Boom,
I am 100% on board with that. That's exactly how you should do it. Yeah, that's the whole point.
Right.
Okay? He's not asking you for your
Like my
27
theory,
years of
yeah.
deep dive research
Yes.
into World Cup stats. No.
Okay.
Pick it with cricket. Cricket is picking Switzerland over Argentina. And she's getting you home every 20 minutes on the fives with your traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. Eastbound I-10 approaching Grant. Earlier crash there, off on the side of the road and not blocking travel, but some slowdowns on eastbound I-10 approaching Grant Road. Also expect busy travel with slowdowns on Alvernon at Grant. No left turns at the intersection and travel down to one lane each direction. 81, the overnight low. Have a chance of some maybe monsoon action a little later this evening. 101 tomorrow. 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Bank of America. Bank of America, sponsor of the FIFA World Cup 2026, dedicated to offering solutions to help businesses meet their goals locally and globally. More at bankofamerica.com/gamechangers. That's bankofamerica.com/gamechangers.
I'm Ruben Cruz. After a car accident, people ask, what is my case worth? It depends on your injuries, the medical care you receive, and the impact on your life. At Cruz & Associates, we build strong cases and fight for full compensation. No fees unless we win. Injured, call Cruz.com.
Did you know that feeling sluggish or weighed down could be signs that your digestive system isn't working at its best? But taking Metamucil every day can help. Metamucil supports your daily digestive health using a special plant-based fiber called psyllium. Psyllium works by forming a gel in your digestive system to trap and remove the waste that weighs you down. Metamucil's gelling action also helps to promote heart health and slows down sugar absorption to promote healthy blood sugar levels. Start feeling lighter and more energetic by taking Metamucil every day.
Westwood One presents Today in Women's Sports. Coco Gauff's dream of the Wimbledon Championship will have to wait at least another year. The tennis phenom was defeated by Karolina Muchova on Thursday in an epic semifinal battle. Gauff fell behind early but forced a tiebreaker at the end of the decisive third set. Muchova prevailed by a score of 12-10, and now she will play in the final on Saturday. As a singles player, Gauff is a two-time major tournament champion, but the semifinal appearance is her career best finish at Wimbledon. Despite the tough loss yesterday, the 22-year-old undoubtedly has more history to write at the All England club.
I'll be online. I mean, I'm probably, already got some hate comments and stuff, but it's okay. Just makes you stronger. Bettors who lose, who are mad and stuff. It's the usual, but it doesn't, it sucks, but it's like, whatever. I'll come on the winning end next time, and I'll be sure to tag them.
With Today in Women's Sports, I'm Jody Jackson on Westwood One.
COVID-19 has cast a spotlight on the stark inequalities that drive poverty. The poorest communities in the U.S. and around the world are suffering the most. Oxfam believes we can put systems in place to protect health and livelihoods in the future if we work together with dignity and compassion. Learn how you can help offer safety to the most vulnerable and fight for a more resilient future at oxfamamerica.org. Sponsored by Oxfam America.
Ready to order.
Yes.
We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything? Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
It's game day. Are your moderate to severe Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis symptoms keeping you from the action? Skyrizi, risankizumab Riza, could help you get back to the game. Skyrizi is proven to help people feel significant symptom relief, achieve remission, and visibly improve damage of the intestinal lining. Skyrizi is a prescription injection medicine for adults. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions, increased infections, or lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, get checked for infections and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor about any flu-like symptoms or vaccines. Liver problems leading to hospitalization may occur when treated for Crohn's or ulcerative colitis. Ask your doctor about Skyrizi, the #1 prescribed biologic in Crohn's and ulcerative colitis combined. Learn more at skyrizi.com or 1-866-SKYRIZI.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill, I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure, or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Taking the turn for home on this Friday. Again, don't forget, FC Tucson in action tonight out of Keno North Stadium, 7 o'clock kickoff against Capo FC. Must win to get in for the men in black. They also need some help. I'll read you just kind of the scenario that they're facing with this match tonight at home. It's also going to be Fan Appreciation Night, so get out there, and I'm sure there'll be all kinds of cool stuff for you. FC Tucson currently sitting in third in USL League 2. They're in the Southwest Division. They're just 2 points behind second place Redlands, with only the top two teams advancing to the postseason playoff picture. FC Tucson must defeat Capo. Redlands must tie or lose their season finale against first place Ventura County, the Fusion. The challenge comes against a familiar opponent. Capo FC was the last team to defeat FC Tucson at Keno Sports Complex. That was almost 2 years ago. Since that loss, FC Tucson unbeaten in their last 17 home matches, 14 wins, and 3 draws.
So what you're saying is the Mercury need to go talk to those guys over at Keno North and figure out what they got in the water.
Exactly. Right, because they play well at home. The Mercury do not. Let's see. It looks like we got a little bit of we got some thunder. I'm just looking at the TV right now, and I see a thunderstorm warning, but that looks like it's kind of far out east right now. So I don't think we need to worry about that delaying any of the action yet tonight. But, of course, we always keep an eye on the weather at this time of year. So in terms of the Fan Appreciation Night tonight, presented by Vantage West, 20% off all FC Tucson merchandise, $6 24-ounce Tecates, $6 margaritas, and 3 tacos for $10 tonight. So there you go. Get on out to Keno North Stadium and support the home side as they try to make the postseason. All right, college football this week. The first of the many conference media days took place, and it was the Big 12. Your Arizona Wildcats, of course, were on center stage as well. And one of the topics that all of the coaches throughout the country are going to be talking about in the lead up to this 2026 season is going to be college football playoff expansion. Right now, what do we have? 12 teams, I think it is, 12 teams right now. The hope by many is to double that to 24 teams. And the Big 12 is behind all of that. Let's hear, we'll do this in reverse, J-Dub. Let's hear from the, I think the second cut is the one where Brent.
It's all of them. I put them together.
Okay.
So it's the same question asked. There were 2 roundtables for day 1 and day 2. The 8 coaches split on day 1, 8 coaches on day 2. And both groups of coaches, DK, were asked about this expansion. I just went ahead and put day 1 and day 2 together.
Okay, so the second one is day 2. Is that correct?
Both. No, this is both of them.
Okay.
Day 1 and day 2.
Okay. So let's hear the one that let's hear first the one that Brent Brennan talks in. Let's hear that group of coaches first.
I only have them come together.
Oh, okay.
Day 1 and day 2 together.
I've got 2 quotes. Okay, I'm confused here. I have 2 cuts on my sheet, but this apparently is these different topics.
Media Day Coaches Roundtable on the 24-team college football playoff expansion. It's a combination of the day 1 and day 2 roundtables.
Okay, all right. Well, let's play it and hear what are we going to hear Brent first here, or is he in?
He's on day 2.
He's on day 2. All right, let's hear. We'll start with that guy. So it starts with the guys on day 1 and goes into day 2. Now I'm understanding it. Let's hear from the coaches that spoke on day 1.
In late May, there was a vote among the head coaches assembled here on stage and the 8 others that'll join us tomorrow on the topic of expanding the playoff to 24 teams. And the vote was unanimous. All 16 coaches voted in favor of expanding the field. Coach McGuire, let me start with you on this one. Why expand the field?
You know, one, I think it's great for college football. If you, like we were all presented with a bracket of 24 from last year, and there would have been 5 Big 12 teams in that bracket, you know, and there have been some great matchups. So I think that's really important. And then, you know, for me, I'm ready to get the national championship back around New Year's Day and our January 5th, January 7th. You know, this sport's not supposed to be played on January 25th college-wise. And so I think whenever you open that up to 24, then it redoes the calendar, or we have an opportunity to redo the calendar. But the biggest thing is, man, just the great matchups that you could have had, and there are some deserving teams. I mean, number one, I got to play Kalani twice, and you're talking about a stud quarterback, but a really physical football team. But Houston was as hot of a team as there was in the country at the end of the year. And if you'd had a 2014 bracket, they would have been playing in that playoff bracket, and they deserve to. And you could see by the way they played in their bowl game that they deserve to. So I'm a big fan of getting more teams in. I do think everybody says that it could dilute the regular season. No, it's going to make it more important because there's a chance to have home field advantage possibly for 2 rounds versus 1 round. And so that's going to make a big difference in the regular season. And more people will be in the hunt at the end of the year getting in the playoffs.
Coach Frost, why expand the field?
I agree with Joey. I think we all have to be okay with the fact that the landscape's changing and college football's changing. There's different strengths of schedules that people have. We're all playing for something different now, and that's to try to get into the playoff and win a championship. And I think the more teams that get involved with that, the better chance you have of deciding it on the field. And this is a deep conference, a talented conference, top to bottom, as good as anybody. And we had a lot of teams that I think deserve to at least have the opportunity to compete for that last year, and hopefully we get to that point.
This is off script here, but one thing we were discussing over there, and Commissioner Yormark talked about it, was with expansion, the possibility of losing a conference championship game. Coach Fritz, where would you stand on expanding a playoff field at the cost of a conference championship game?
I haven't put a whole lot of thought into it, but I think that would be good if we went to 24, like Joey was talking about. We just don't want to keep pushing the timeline of the season back further and further. Getting it done someplace around January 1st, I think would be great for college football. And going to 24, if you had to do that, that might be a possibility.
Coach Morris?
I agree, because last year I would have been in the playoff. I wouldn't have gone to a conference championship game. So we were slated to make it and then unfortunately couldn't be able to pull it out. But yeah, I agree. I think that's what everybody in America wants to see. And I think, just like any other sport, anytime you get to the postseason, is they want to see the best against the best for as many weeks as possible, right? And just like they were saying, I mean, there's a team that gets hot late, and I think, you've been able to see that a number of times through sports in general, and it gives them the opportunity to play something on a stage. And then too, I think going and doing some of these playoff games early on some of these campuses is such a unique experience for the average fan and for the student bodies to be able to stay at home, in December and experience these atmospheres as a college student. I think is something that'll be a memory for a lifetime.
Okay, so that is day one. Those were the coaches on day one of the Big 12 football media days. And then we had the group that was on day two who talked also about the expansion of the college football playoff.
Coach Rodriguez, why expand the field?
Well, I think obviously it's more access for more teams. That's a good thing. I personally, I don't care if it's 24 or 30 or 36 or 52 or 112. Somebody says, well, you get 24 and then you don't make the playoffs, then you had a bad year and your coaches could get fired. Well, hell, if they want to fire, they'll fire you. You know what I mean? I think you got to win no matter what. But I think to 24 guarantees, there's a lot more teams in our league that could compete nationally against the other teams, and they would see that in a playoff. That's the thing I'm pretty pleased about. You'll get some of the teams that are represented here, the teams that were represented last night. You give them the chance to compete nationally against teams from these other so-called power leagues, and you'll see some positive results in our league. And so that, to me, that's the benefit about expanding the playoff to 24.
Coach Brennan, why did you vote in favor of expanding?
Well, for me, it's a lot like Rich Rod said, but I take it back to March Madness. Like, just what a fun thing that is for America, what a fun thing that is as a sports fan, and why not have some level of that in college football? Right now, it just seems so exclusive. Like, why don't we create a format or a system that is a little more inclusive and gives more people a shot at playing on that big stage?
Let me ask each of you a follow-up on that, though, because one potential impact there, casualty potentially, if there's an expansion, would be losing a conference championship game. How does that sit with you?
Well, I think if you're if you have 24 and you're in a conference championship game, you and the other team or two of them are going to be in it. You know what I mean? So I think everybody's coach will tell you your first goal every year is to win the conference championship. And so if you're playing for the championship, you're going to probably be in the playoff. I would think if you're one of those two. So I don't really see the downside of it. But if you're, I think, you're playing a lot of games. That's the only thing. I wish we could play 10 games. And then maybe we go like the Ivy League. We play 10 games and then we're done by mid-November. I don't think that'll work, though, do you? So since we're going to go ahead and go on to play the full 12 games and play a conference championship game and play the playoffs, let's play as many as we can, make as much money as we can, and be able to pay our players. That'd be a good thing, wouldn't it?
Yeah, there you go. You got to be able to pay the players. The whole thing for me is like if you're going to expand the playoff, then you don't need it. Why do we don't need a conference championship game? So I mean,
isn't that in Jerry's world?
Yeah, exactly.
So it's concessions people at Jerry's world want a championship game.
They would probably if we expand the playoff, they're probably going to get 2 games there versus just one. They're still probably going to get 2 games. They'll just get 2 playoff games instead of a conference championship game and a playoff game. I mean, to me, I've always thought the conference championship games were kind of just for extra show, extra money games that we really don't need anyway.
It made sense when you had East-West and you had equal sides, and like when the Pac-12 was split and the 2 divisions would face each other in the championship game, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But in these like 18-plus team, there's too many teams. It can't be clean. There's no clean way to do it anymore, so it doesn't really make a ton of sense.
No.
So it's just, as always, the argument since the 80s, DK, was tradition.
Yeah.
And Rose Bowl, got to keep it the way it is for tradition. Got to keep these conference games for tradition. Well, 24-team playoff and the conferences splitting the prize pools that those teams make when they're making deep runs in the college football playoffs will probably make you forget about conference football title games.
520-848-1290 is the number to get in on the program. We will give you your Casino del Sol replay when we come back. Also, we got to give you your Westwood One top play for one of the 2 semifinals tomorrow. And it's not the one that Cricket picked. She's getting you home, though, every 20 minutes on the 5s with the traffic and your weather.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together. A collision Ajo and Keno, also road work at Keno and Ajo, and mostly backups westbound on Ajo approaching Keno Parkway. Earlier crash eastbound I-10 at Grant. Residual light slowing on eastbound I-10 approaching Grant. 81 the overnight low, 101 tomorrow. There's a 45% chance of rain Sunday and Monday, and 105 now. I'm Cricket with your Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic and Weather together.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Taco Bell's new jalapeno citrus salsa. Bright, spicy, zesty, impossible to ignore. It brings main character energy to every bite. Not just a sauce, it's a star. Only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last.
With Bet365 early payout, you win even if they lose. Get paid out instantly when your team goes up big, even if they blow the lead later. Winning is everything. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-NEXT-STEP. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in Arizona.
This is a Westwood One Sports Minute.
Presented by AutoZone. Get in the zone, AutoZone. Phillies All-Star Bryce Harper announced on his Instagram account that he'll be participating in this year's Home Run Derby. He wrote, "A derby at home? Sure, why not? It will be great for fans to see a hometown favorite participate in the Derby." Harper won the Derby in 2018 in Washington when he was a member of the Nationals. The Home Run Derby is Monday night on Netflix. I'm Adam Abdallah.
When you've got real work to do, Metal Supermarkets will help you get it done fast. With a huge variety of metals in stock, we can help no matter what job comes your way. And all it takes is a few clicks. We make buying metal online easy so you can spend less time shopping and more time getting things done. Metal Supermarkets, the convenient stores for metal. Place an order online today at metalsupermarkets.com.
There's only one Ozempic.
Hello, I'm Ozempic. Because this ad is 30 seconds, I can't get into everything I'm FDA approved to do, so I'm just going to play my jingle again. But first, ask your doctor about which FDA approved uses of me, the Ozempic pen, may be right for you. Call 1-833-OZEMPIC or visit Ozempic.com to view the medication guide and learn more about Ozempic semaglutide injection, 2 milligrams. Only Novo Nordisk makes FDA approved Ozempic. Now here's that jingle again.
There's only one Ozempic.
And the match is about to begin.
Most of the team is out with COVID-19, so there'll be some substitutes tonight.
What's this? We have an unexpected guest on the field.
It's a dog. Well, they could do with extra players.
She's going for the ball.
Are front paws hands or feet?
Soccer season is full of surprises, and COVID-19 could be one of them. If you test positive, prescription medications may help. Ask your doctor if they're right for you. Learn more at PfizerForAll.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
He's dribbling the ball with everything on the line. He's driving down the pitch. He's facing price hikes and cuts past him. Carrier Contracts tries to block him. Oh, he leaves him in the dust. He's at the edge of the box. He cuts past the nonstop group chat trash talk. He clears on goal. He shoots. Goal! Unlimited data for $25 a month forever!
Visit your local Boost Mobile store today to get unlimited data with a price that never changes. Boost Mobile. After 30 GB, customers may experience lower speeds. Customers will pay $25 a month as long as they remain active on the Boost $25 unlimited plan.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong? I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215215. That's HIM to 215215. These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Paid for by Adaptive Health. Paid non-attorney spokesperson. Paid for by Action Matters.
Attention anyone who has had a colonoscopy, endoscopy, or any other scope procedure. If you or a loved one developed a serious infection or health complication after a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant cash compensation. Dangerous infections have been reported across the country linked to Olympus endoscopes. Olympus scopes may have been defectively designed, and manufacturer instructions may not have been adequate in enabling proper disinfection, putting patients' health at risk. If you or a loved one were hospitalized for a bacterial infection within 90 days of a scope procedure, or developed sepsis, organ failure, HIV, tuberculosis, an antibiotic-resistant superbug, or another serious complication following a scope procedure, you may be entitled to significant compensation. Call now to find out if you qualify, but hurry. Time to file a claim could be limited.
Call 800-891-1857 now to see if you qualify. That's 800-891-1857. 800-891-1857.
DK on the Sports Tip. Wildcats Radio 1290.
Remember when Blaze Alexander played for the Arizona Diamondbacks?
A line drive to right center is going to give the Orioles a lead right back. Cowser in, Taveras coming to score, and Holiday takes third. Blaze Alexander, Mr. Clutch yet again, drives in two off Hunter Green, and it's 5-4 O's.
Blaze Alexander just keeps on hitting, folks.
Well, yeah. Unfortunately, he's not hitting for the Diamondbacks anymore. He's hitting for the Baltimore Orioles. And unfortunately, we needed him to do some hitting yesterday. And yesterday was the first day in a long time he decided not to do any hitting. We had Blaze Alexander over 1.5 runs, hits, RBIs. And he went 0 for 4 in the game yesterday. He, I think he has homered already tonight, if I'm not mistaken. This is what he's done in the last 30 days. Blaze Alexander for the Orioles is hitting .338. The home run he hit tonight was his 4th home run of the season. So he's gotten a little bit of a late start on the power side, but he is really hitting the baseball, is Blaze Alexander. So that might be one of those trades that the Diamondbacks might look to regret at some point down the line, especially in a season when they're sitting one game under 500. All right, what do we have for tomorrow on the soccer side? Let's find out what the folks at Westwood One suggest.
Speeding catches up with you, paid for by NHTSA. Pat Boyle here to help you beat the books with Westwood One Sports. World Cup quarterfinals, and I think we get a banger of a game with Norway, England. Norway's 5 games in this tourney have averaged over 4 goals per game, and England have averaged over 3 goals per game. Both teams' strengths are the offense. We have 2 world-class strikers in Kane and Holland. Give me the over, 2.5 for the game. I'm Pat Boyle. Bet smarter and beat the books. Download the BetMGM app today.
All right, so we've actually got 2 plays on this game. Norway and England over 2.5 goals. So we need at least 3, kind of like we got today, 2-1 game, Spain and Belgium. And then a draw in regulation. That's a pretty good bet on its own at plus 260. I'm wondering if we should parlay draw in regulation. So you'd want it to be maybe like 2-2. That would be preferable because 1-1 would not give us what we need. 2-2 tie going into overtime, and then you could win big if we parlayed those 2. I think we'll take them separately though. We'll take them as individual bets. The draw in regulation is plus 260. Norway over at 2.5 goals, I believe is minus 110 right now. So those are your 2 plays. We did actually win on that parlay yesterday though. We had Spain to advance in any fashion and under 3.5 goals. So Spain, I'm sorry, this was today's. Spain won 2-1. So we got under 3.5 goals in regular time and Spain advanced. So we won that parlay at plus 135. So we took home $17.42 on that World Cup play right there. Drawn regulation tomorrow, plus 260, Norway, England, under or over 2.5 goals.
I mean, got to root for Norway the rest of the way.
Okay.
All the like I said, America first. I'd love to see an African nation, lift that trophy because no African nation ever has, and soccer is crazy out there. Norway has never won a World Cup. So, I mean, again, I'm always, I think Brazil has enough, Germany has enough, France has enough. Those are the best teams traditionally for the past 80 years. Norway hasn't even been there in 28 years. So, although, like, England's got that Canada thing, having not had won the Stanley Cup. They invented soccer. They haven't won in a minute either, but I definitely am rooting for Norway from here forward.
All right. You are taking Norway. I think I'm going to stick with England. Let's give you your Casino del Sol replay for today.
The Casino del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, we chatted with Jim Osarski, Milwaukee Bucks beat writer for the Milwaukee Journal-Sentinel earlier in the show, and I asked for his first impressions of new rookie guard Braden Burries.
Yeah, it's the thing that has struck me and locally everyone the most is sort of the composure element. And I don't know how to say this, it's like a flat demeanor. Like there was just this clearly an excitement to be an NBA draft pick and, start his career, but just kind of even keeled, just level. Like there was no, raised voice anywhere or, clearly the emotional Pitch kind of stayed the same. He was just, kind of cutting through the waves, not riding them. And the reason I say that stands out is because, look, on draft night in Brooklyn, in the green room, somebody asked him about, joining a team without Giannis and being part of that going forward. I asked him about that, and just see him sort of walk right into that, understand it, embrace it, not get too one way or another about it, though, I thought was really impressive.
I know it's only been a couple of days since he got there, but has there been anything that stood out about Braden in terms of in practice, on the floor, anything of that nature where the coaches were like, yeah, this is kind of what we thought we might be getting?
A great question, and sort of immediately, I went to Sacramento, the California Classic Summer League, and he made his debut out there, played well, and had some highlights, which you kind of want to see and expect. But the thing that stood out was assistant coach Patrick St. Andrews, been in the league, over a decade at this point. Assistant coach here in Milwaukee when they won the title, seen a lot, right? And he said Braden was watching the Summer League game, one of those first ones in Sacramento, and started seeing some stuff that the opponent was doing, and wandered over into a huddle and said, hey, Saint, hey, this is how we should attack this defense. This is what we should do. And Patrick was like, oh, kind of came back, looked at it, and, said, yeah, maybe we should do some of this stuff. And Saint was really, he said in all of his time, he's never had a rookie, sort of diagnose, discern what he was seeing with his teammates like that. But then he said, have the self-confidence to go to the coaching staff and say, hey, this is what I'm seeing. I think this can work. And he made it clear how we started this conversation. It wasn't sort of a boisterous, I know better than you type of situation. It was being a good teammate, but also a guy who was very confident in his ability to see what was going on.
Today's Casino Del Sol replay is brought to you by Casino Del Sol, home of award-winning dining, gaming, resorts, and golf.
All right, NBA Summer League tonight. Jaden Bradley is going to be on the floor. However, he is not in the starting lineup, J-Dub, tonight for the Toronto Raptors. The starting guards, especially the point guard, is Chucky Hepburn. The starting shooting guard is Namari Burnett. So Jaden Bradley will come off the bench to begin Summer League in Las Vegas.
Outside of being a top 10 pick, I don't think a lot of that stuff matters, just because especially you're talking about second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth-year players oftentimes can be in Summer League that the organizations are looking to see if they are going to even have a roster spot. We already know, and obviously, JB is not guaranteed to get any playing time, but starting lineups or playing time, it's more about how often he's on the court during these next 5 games or guaranteed 5 games. And then there's a little playoff series, but not surprised. We all know JB's going to get plenty of time because to show what he can do, DK, he needs 4 other guys on the court with him.
There you go. Well, have a great weekend, JW, and we will talk to you on Monday.
Stay out of the weather.
Yeah, we will try to do that. Jim Osarski joined us on the show. We appreciate him for doing so. For JW Madden and Cricket and Dragon Ball, who was off today, my name is David Kelly. That's our time for tonight and this week. Thank you very much for your time. We'll talk to you on Monday, 3 o'clock right here, DK on the Sports Tip. Have a great weekend, everybody. This is Wildcats Radio 1290.
From the Cruz and Associates Personal Injury Attorneys Traffic Center, it's Wildcats Radio 1290 Traffic. A collision reported at Ajo and Keno. Keno and Ajo. Also roadwork at that intersection. Roadwork at Palo Verde and Irvington. Country Club Road is closed under I-10, and all that road work part of a big improvement project on I-10 between Alvernon and Keno. And that's your Wildcats Radio 1290 traffic.
This report is sponsored by Lowe's.
Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance. Round out your protection with life, phone, and pet health insurance from Progressive Insurance.
Texting enrolls you in a recurring automated marketing text messages. Consent not required to purchase. Message and data rates may apply.
The team's looking good this season.
I think so. Man, I miss playing football. Ever since I turned 40, I just can't find that fire I used to have.
Think it could be lower testosterone?
What do you mean?
I was feeling the same way. After 40, the body has less testosterone, and men lose their edge. That's why I take Nugenix Total T2.
That's the testosterone booster, right?
Yes, but Total T2 is their brand new formula that skyrockets nitric oxide levels in as little as 3 hours. Since I started taking it, I've been lifting like when we played for Coach Carter. My energy is way up, and it even spiced up things between me and the missus.
Are they still giving out complimentary bottles?
Yep, just send a text.
Text HIM to 215-215 for your complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T2, the next generation testosterone booster. Text now and we'll include a bottle of Nugenix Thermo X, our newest, most powerful fat burner ever, absolutely free. Text HIM to 215-215. That's HIM to 215-215.
These statements have not been evaluated by the FDA. This product is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease.
Paid for by Adaptive Health.
Progressive presents perfectly bad excuses for missing stuff to spend more time on your motorcycle.
Hey, Suze, can't make it to your party. Gotta defrost some chicken. There's tenders, boneless thighs. Gotta keep an eye on it.
Now that was a bad excuse. If you love your vehicle this much, get customized coverage from Progressive, America's #1 motorcycle insurer. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates, not available in D.C.
I know that hiring can be challenging. You need someone to match your role perfectly. Well, now you can meet them fast on ZipRecruiter.
Build your team, build it sooner. Meet your match on ZipRecruiter.
Just head to ZipRecruiter.com/free right now to try it for free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free.
Meet your match on ZipRecruiter. Try it free.
Download to see if you qualify. Not all customers will qualify. Transfer fees may apply. No Albert subscription required. Albert is not a bank. Albert Instant Loans are issued by FinWise Bank, member FDIC. Not an actual client. Terms apply.
Kylie, what's wrong?
I just got hit with a car repair bill. I'm behind on rent, and I feel like I can never save any money.
Have you tried the Albert app? Albert is your financial assistant, helping you find ways to save and create custom budgets to actually grow your money. Plus, you can get up to $10,000 for big expenses or advance up to $1,000 fast when you need cash right away.
Albert can get me up to $10,000?
Exactly. Albert spots you in a pinch and helps you grow your money in the long run.
I'm downloading Albert right now.
Download the Albert app and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000 for whatever you need. The Albert app helps you budget better and save more money so you reach your financial goals faster. Download the Albert app right now and use promo code GROW to borrow up to $10,000. Use code GROW to borrow up to $10,000.
So, what is it that scares you the most?
The blue trucks from Essential Pest Control, Doctor. They leave bugs belly up.
I use one of those national companies.
Thanks, Doc. Those guys don't scare me.
Spring is bug season. Go blue with Essential Pest Control. We'll eliminate those bugs, bees, and termites. Buy local and stop paying too much with those national providers. Essential Pest Control is a bug's worst nightmare.
I can't sleep at night.
Essential Pest Control. Call 866-3029. That's 866-3029. Or visit EssentialPest.com.
Your business isn't a science experiment. So at Cumulus Digital, we don't speculate, we execute with a proven framework delivering results 25% better than industry standards. Go to cumulusdigital.com, fill out our form, and move from guessing to knowing.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward, don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Nobody covers your cats like we do. We are the home of your Arizona Wildcats. KCUB Tucson, a Cumulus media station. Wildcats Radio 1290 studios are brought to you by ICCU at ICCU.com.